Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. We don't like to waste famous people's time, especially famous people who are in, what did we learn this morning? What was the phrase that we learned, Sam?
A phrase?
Yeah, it was you said thruple, but I said...
Oh, yes, you said three relationship?
Relationship, somebody said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. I mean, like, how about just living better than we are?
Yeah, way
I'll
better.
let you do the honors, sir.
He's going to be at the Orlando Improv. It's the 222, 2 shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get your tickets at theimprovorlando.com.
Indeed.
You need to go out and, obviously they do it safe there and they space everybody and
you need to laugh a little bit because holy crap, there's been a shortage on laughs. But we have a very special guest.
Yeah, comedian Deray Davis. How you doing, Deray?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see you guys starting off on relationships first before anything else.
Well, I mean, it's
We're just jealous.
The entire world changed today. And
Right.
But D-Ray's relationship.
We have learned.
D-Ray's sex life is definitely important.
We have learned early on that politics, sometimes when you're just trying to make people smile, can be a bit polarizing.
True. Agreed.
And no matter
I'm tired
what,
of even looking at
and I
it.
have learned that no matter what I say, I get attacked, and we're just not going to do that. We don't play that game. And
you look sincere. I know you mean it because the way you're looking up when you say it. Whenever somebody looks up, you're having a memory of that moment. You're like,
yeah, we get railed on sometimes. But hey, we chose not to go in that direction. So that's a good question. What about you? When you're out, when you're entertaining people, when you're going to be in town in Orlando at the Improv, do you throw any of that in there, or are you trying to make people feel
I
good?
have to, because I have to be honest about just everything. I sit on the side of I love people for love and and I love people for what they're really good at, and we try to like people for what we want them to be good at. So that's why I definitely talk about comedy. Like it might be a waitress in there, she's the worst waitress ever, and you hate her that night, but she's a great mom. So
that's true. Yeah.
You just never know, man. Like we've dealt with this guy for so long in office, but as far as if he had some real estate tips, I'd take them still.
Yeah, of course. Like
take them.
That is
so
the thing.
I'm like, the other thing's gone. I'm like, hey man, you're a horrible rapper, but I like your R&B album. Like,
yes, you can't be.
But please get out of the rap game. It's not for you.
Yeah, you can't be good at everything, and at the same time too, it's like it's pretty extraordinary. No matter what, any way you want to look at it, to be a human being and be president and accomplishing that is a feat.
To do it in a form where we all was like, nah, that's impossible.
Right.
Because if it were somebody else, like somebody of color, or somebody who went through any other kind of struggles other than his struggle, it just was unreal. And but if it was me, it's like, I come from nothing. I had roaches, and now I have better roaches in the White House.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still there.
They're chilling. Those are the best roaches. Those are the richest roaches ever. But I am happy. I do talk about. I'm excited about the new direction that we're in, and just people's. A lot of the happy people who were happy before are happy again. I'm not gonna say like who was right, who was wrong.
Right.
It was happy times. Not even a year ago. So
yeah, the right and wrong thing, man. It's like we all still have to be here, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to work it out.
That thing, yeah. Plus, man, I'm too big and too old to be beating people up anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say one thing. I've made the joke before that he did fundamentally change my mindset with one thing. And I used to say this, let's say 10 years ago, and D-Ray, without giving you a lot of backstory, I basically started my career as a clown, had a bear suit. I was a terrestrial radio intern.
He's like a stunt boy on morning radio.
Wait, I love that, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But
he was one of the best
really
at it.
embarrassing.
Don't let him act like it wasn't important. It was good, and he does it.
Why do I feel like we discussed this clown thing before, though?
Yeah.
We can't stop talking.
Well, now that you can see us,
I feel like you told me about the clown thing before. I'm trying to remember, but not.
Well, he plays this game where he'll be like, I'll bring it up and talk about it. Oh man, I don't know, but it's bad. He's so proud of it, man. He lives for it.
I'm just saying that
he does the Michael Jordan brag.
Yeah.
now,
Mike's like, how many games was that? I don't even remember. I just know, I got, and he has the rings on while he's doing this. Mike's like,
D-Ray, it's an embarrassment. My career started as an embarrassment. Anyway, it did a lot of embarrassing things that are on video. A lot of foolish things. People will look down on me. Anyway, I used to say, like, when I first had sons, I'm like, well, I will tell them that you could never be president because of what your father has done on video. You'll never, but before, and now I'm like, well, you open the door for you because
Go
it's
for
open. I think now it's actually
Anyone can be president.
it's available to a lot more people now.
Yeah, you open the door by doing that. That might be the very thing that people consider what we need. They're like, well, but was his dad a clown? Because now he can do everything, and he could definitely be president. Yeah, believe me. Believe it or not, a lot of black kids were told they couldn't be president too. Could you believe that?
Yeah. I don't know. Really? In America? Yeah. That sounds strange.
And in your house too.
D-Ray, because we've had some comedians in here. Obviously, things are like touring's happening again.
Yeah.
The Orlando Improv is open, and we've asked a lot of them, like, what was their feeling? What did they do when obviously coronavirus and everything got shut down, and with this landed on us, and all entertainers and entertainment industry had to stop? And what was your mindset when that happened? Did you think, how am I going to pivot? Did you think, all right, I'm going to just hold down until the storm blows over? What was your mentality?
Well, I always thought, I was just good at comedy. I'm good no matter what. But I knew what it took to get good was basically rehearsing. I mean, you've been a clown.
It's time spent, right?
But that rehearsing, regardless of how easy it looks, and you lose that practice. So if you lose that practice, no matter what, you got to get back to it, at least with your rhythm. And I don't care what you do, whether you sing, whether you act, whatever, no matter how good you are, I think you got to get back in rhythm. And we were missing that. We're missing that rhythm. And now, so when you get the opportunity to go somewhere like Orlando, where it's spaced out, where you can at least do it. But I didn't pivot. It pivoted around us. The clubs start just shutting down, and then they tried different ways to make people laugh. And I was damned if I was going to be in a parking lot somewhere ruining my career because I wanted to, I wanted to tell jokes. I just seen Deray in a Kmart parking lot. Yeah. Kmart, not even there. No more.
And a lot of people did that. And it seemed like in the comedy world, there was a bit of a line drawn. You had some people that were like, man, I'm freaking out. I got to try it. Or maybe it's the only thing that keeps me alive. And then you had other people that said, no, I'm not doing that.
No. If you love comedy, you do it anywhere. Right. What I'm saying is that during this time for what was on, and I believe deeply in the zombie outbreaks, I wasn't going to be on stage when it's like, and I'm like, oh, damn it, I'm outside. I need to be protected. There are weapons inside of a comedy club that I would need during this world ending.
I got you. It is so much harder outdoors for anything.
D-Ray, speaking of practice, and it makes total sense, like every professional has to keep their,
time in the gym, right?
The reps up. Now, I found it funny because when everything shut down, people were talking about, like, when sports started back up, people were talking about, like, NBA players, like, well, he hasn't, everything's been shut down for 2 months. I'm like, these guys have private courts with private trainers that they're playing every day. I'm like, people are not realizing, like, these guys are multimillionaires. They have their own courts.
They have to
They have
practice.
their own facilities. Like, it's not like they're sitting at home on the couch like, can't go outside.
No, they don't do what we do. They don't let their diet and their entire, like, everything fall.
Everything go. Oh, yeah, because we didn't have, that definitely happened at first. I need a Uber Eats, Postmates. I need a contract or something because I gave those guys business.
But D-Ray, how does a stand-up comedian get those reps without an audience? Because
myself, I've always, like I said, I sit at home, and even with the people here and the people around me, I'm consistently not trying to force jokes on them, but anything that happens funny around me, just like before, I still write the note down. I still send myself a little text, and I'll say it out loud. I practice all my comedy faces my entire career in the mirror. So I think we don't have that. Like, Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle, they have the same facilities as the NBA guys you're talking about. They probably have a built-in crowd that wakes up when they walk in there. They just have a crowd sitting back. But I think guys like myself, man, who just, like I said, it's a natural thing. Like, we don't have that gym. That's why I said when opportunities open up where you can go out,
You know
club,
what?
you take that.
You brought up a good point, because that made me think, like, if you have, like, some of these people have unlimited money, and with unlimited money, I remember even when we were still podcasting through the pandemic, and we were hearing, like, guys like Joe Rogan had the money and the resources,
like the on-site doctors.
Yeah, that he'd have an on-site doctor getting people tested for, like, rapid tested for corona before he'd do interviews. Like,
so he was able to throw money at it and make it disappear.
yeah, so technically, you could, I guess, have like 30 paid employees that were audience members all tested for corona that you could. I mean, there could be.
No, there's ways, but also, I mean, man, Tom, what we talking? I'm better than a lot of people. Might not be richer, but I'm definitely funnier.
Yeah,
all right.
So some of the people we're going to bring up right now, which I don't want to get into, they may need to practice, because no matter what, even with that practice, if we went on stage back to back now, I'll be funnier.
Right.
Yeah. How, D-Ray, how much does that bother you? Like, how much is just there's a chance involved
yeah.
with
who you know,
and the right place, right time
happenstance.
with getting.
I think,
yeah.
I've lived on both sides, so I don't want to say that. I've been places where it's like I'm waiting in line to go in. I'm like, man, why can't I go in line? Why can't I go in right now? Like, in anything in life. And there's places I've went there like, oh, D-Ray, right to the front. There's movie roles I've gotten that I knew bigger actors were up for, and I've gotten it. So being on both sides of it, who you know, how the interview go, how the audition go, meeting somebody in a club, and I just happen to be out at the same time when you meet a producer or a director. So I don't get mad at none of those opportune moments. I'm like, it can happen for me, so I don't want it,
Yeah, you kind of take it.
Let's not put any bad thing in the air, because the lottery is almost $1 billion, and I want to.
Right. Like, it's all part of it, right? Like, that's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for other people. It's give and take.
I promise you this: if I win that money, all you guys will get separate testing facilities inside of your.
And it'll have a sign that says "sponsored by D-Ray" over the top of it.
D-Ray, you win that money. Do you still do stand up?
Yeah.
Because
hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yes. You do be like, oh, y'all ain't laughing, but I'm rich tour.
Yeah.
You're not laughing? Get him out of here. Give me a paid laugher right here. No, of course I'm going out because I'm just insane. And I think that I'd probably overdo the promotions.
Right.
This whole interview would be in an echo.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, that's true. Like, why would you?
Ray, what's going on?
In broadcast. Hey, was there
anything I do would be big.
Was there anything you picked up over the time, aside from just business as usual? Did you have time? But did you pick up any, like, hobby of some sort? Did you?
I did. I picked up a hobby that my entire life I've dabbled in. How can I put this, financially, but I've never dabbled in it socially.
Okay.
And I picked up a new habit, and they said it's made me nicer.
Oh, what's that?
On 4/20 this year, I picked up a new habit.
Oh, all right. Man,
I've never even tried it in my entire life too. That's what made it crazy.
Crazy.
One time I've been around Snoop, the Wiz is the most incredible, probably chronic chronicles in the world, and I still was like, nah, I don't mess around. On my own, with my own peer pressure, my own mirrors, I was like, hey man, you can do this.
That's interesting.
Now we all have our medical cards here in Florida, so we have.
I'm full on addicted.
Trulieve is one of our sponsors, and so we all do it, and we talk about how great it's been. Like, help us knock down drinking as much, and there's just so many.
That's true. That definitely helped.
So, what has been your experience, and do you, because I only eat it, like I only do edibles or pills or whatever, and then
this is the first time I was told not to even say it, because I'm not a Disney guy at all. Everybody knows how my comedy's hood and all that. My comedy relates to a lot of me growing up and where I come from. But
sure,
they were saying, why would you mention it when at regardless of the fact that your age and at this time it doesn't give you anything else? And I'm like, well, I'm just honest guy on stage, and I've never said it in an interview ever live, and this is my first time
exclusive.
Ever
really
saying it. I've never posted me. You never see me posting me doing it or whatever. Yeah. And it's my first time, so I don't know what is gonna happen now.
Well, you know, I
No,
mean,
you're good.
it's funny because like I don't do that either. Like I don't put pictures of me, like because people do.
Yeah, some
There-
people are braggadocious.
Yeah, like, I'm
but
not gonna put a
I think
picture of me-
I think we got too much going on and too many people around us to do it. Plus, when you get in a position like we are, when you start posting like that, people want you to share.
Yeah, and I got a kid who's in school,
And that becomes kids, and that becomes the conversation too. You don't want to give any intros of conversation. I always say that about tattoos with your own name. Like, why? Like, you don't remember your name. You're like, oh wait, David. It's like it's just you just want attention. You want people to say, oh, you're David too.
yeah.
Oh, you love your mom too. Dave loves mom. I do.
But Deray, I feel like, man, it's changed the idea and the taboo,
the stigma behind it.
The stigma. I mean, my mom got her medical card recently, and it just seems like it's a nothing now.
Yeah.
And it happened fast. Like it went from like 20 years, and like in the 20-year time span, it was like this is dope. This is on the same category as heroin.
Well, just think how fast 4 years.
Yeah.
No. I'm telling you, I was bad, and I'll probably get into it more on stage. But I mean, I was horrible, like to my family members who I'd catch or smell. I had employees I smell it on. I'm like, I want to be successful. I was pretty. I got a lot of people to apologize to, man.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit like that too. Like I think earlier,
I want my house smelling like this. And go on the, go outside.
Yeah.
Go to the balcony, go to the roof, eat in hotel rooms. If someone got charged, like if I booked a big show, a lot of comics, and one guy is in his room. Oh my God, I have so many stories.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I have stories like, oh, he doesn't want to get in the car unless he can smoke. I'm like, he better get in the car. And I'm like arguing with comics who I booked. Like,
Gotcha. Yeah.
You should have got me a car. You should have got me a car. Well, man, I could have had the weed in it. You know what I mean? And I've been like, and now it's like, I understand, my brother.
Yeah. Interesting, man.
Well,
it grew on me. It grew on me like Grogu, I guess.
Yeah. Is it just a mellow? You said that people say it makes you nicer. I think my wife agrees with that too. You know, like drinks to me.
It definitely makes things that I would normally overthink process faster and just get out of here. So
right.
I'll say that. But I was also because on stage I'm sporadic, that I needed ADD medicine, which are my initials anyway. But they said I needed that medicine since I was ADHD medicine since I was younger. And I'm like, when I got older, I'm like, hell no, because I'm too this, and I don't want to. So I think it fixed that. What I'm saying, it basically replaced that medicine to me in my mind. I could be wrong because I'm not a doctor. It can't be ever, especially due to my past. I can't ever go to medical school, but.
But no, but it makes sense, and we've heard a million different stories about how it helps people's anxiety.
Yeah.
I know
insomnia for me.
For me, you know, it does put you in a generally better mood. But on the other hand, Deray, you're right.
I knew it was amazing when I played regular games and I was having a better time. Like felt like I was a kid again playing those games, like the Monopoly, Uno.
Yeah.
Sorry. That would normally be like, well, like, I got your ass. Get out of here. Like it just things like that. Things that would seem smaller. I just started to really appreciate it.
Man, while you're BS, I mean, Uno with my daughter when I'm high might be one of the best things in the world. It's fun.
D-Ray, last question real quick. And again, I want
Sam is like, what's Uno?
I'll remind everyone.
Sorry. She's like, I'm 12. No, I'm kidding. She's like, what's sorry?
D-Ray will be at the Improv the whole weekend. Two shows, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Lots of times for you to slide in there and enjoy some laughs.
D-Ray.
3 different crowds right there. The Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, different people. Sunday being the wildest crowd.
Really? Is Sunday always the craziest?
Always. I have these guys have work tomorrow. They're like, I don't give a damn. Yeah. We don't care. Like,
I'm curious, D-Ray, because you're on the inside of the entertainment industry, and I'm sure you talk to a lot of people that know and project where things are going. Are we going to see now, for the most part, let's say, or the majority of movies going to be released straight to people's houses moving forward from this, you think?
Good question.
That's been the conversation. You hear about it and you see it more, which is crazy because I remember when it was funny that you would do a straight to TV movie.
Yeah,
I remember it was like, that was supposed to be the bad part of Hollywood. And now it's like, it's what we do. And if they can make the money and someone doesn't have to leave their house, I think that's brilliant. I think it is. And people who really love the movie experience, you go. If you love comedy, you go to the comedy club. You don't, you can watch a streaming show, you know?
Right.
So I love that we're really breaking that down, because now we won't have as much, I think those people that like to watch movies but don't want to hear the people talking in the movie, don't want to hear, you know, and some people like that first energy, like that, you know, I can't go to Star Wars and everyone's quiet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So I
that's true.
Yeah, I think a lot of movies. I think that is the avenue now. You know, with the shooting the shows out. Like we shoot 20 episodes now, like of Hip Hop Squares within 2 weeks. Movies are being shot faster. One of the guys, I'm on a show called Snowfall, and one of the leads is in a movie with Anthony Mackie. It's called Outside the Wire. It's like about robots, future.
Cool.
And it looked great here. It looks like, you know, it gave me Terminator's vibes at home. So it was cool. I didn't feel like I lacked that movie experience.
Gotcha. Yeah. And they're probably going to have to use some sort of psychology and mind tricks in order to maybe change the way that even
they promote it.
Yeah. It could be promotion. It could be anything really. But there are certain, you know, things that we're going to be able to dial in to make the home viewing experience better for you. It's just maybe we're not there yet. You know?
Yeah. And
well, the best thing about the home viewing experience that's better is you can pause it and go use the bathroom.
That is true. That is true.
And Deray, do you think now with so many different streaming services and there's so much content out there that there's these, you know, almost micro audiences, kind of like everybody's watching a different thing. It's not like it used to be where everybody was watching Walking Dead or one particular show on network TV. Do you think it offers the ability for particular shows to go on longer and have a smaller audience, that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's been a lot of good shows that have been canceled because of ratings and BS network because they didn't.
Yeah, but they saw that already. They saw that's why they started doing a lot of remakes and reboots on Netflix, on Prime. You're going to see a lot of movies old movies being made into TV shows, and old TV shows being made into, we've seen it before, but I mean like on the streaming services more so because people miss those shows. You know, it's a few people out there that it's like me and the Taco Bell Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
They need to start streaming that pizza to certain people, and I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll pick up for those 10 guys that didn't buy it that day.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
They're able to like micro market to the actual, like, hey, this through our analytics.
That's where it's going.
We
man.
know that these people, like,
Pinpoint.
you know, it's pretty interesting.
No more guessing game to it. So.
Well, Deray,
always a pleasure talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Man, no, love, man. I appreciate y'all having me every time.
2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 2 shows Sunday. There's no excuse for you not to get down there.
Yep.
They do it right. We love Krista and her entire team. They're lovely people. And, hey, when things change and you're back in town, we'd love to have you back in, man.
Hell no. No, I'll be there.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy, dude.
All right, peace.
Yeah,
See
take
ya.
care, man.
Oh.
And I don't know how to end these meetings.
Oh, no. That's all
I
right.
don't know how to do it.
See, and we only mentioned his 2 girlfriends one time.
One time? At the
We
beginning.
didn't even bring up the show on Netflix.
No.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
We
God
did.
damn, the one thing I wrote down. Well, it's better anyway when conversations just
Hey,
go down.
I like
True.
it when I just, my favorite thing is when they just kind of go.
Yeah.
And then I'm just there listening because, like, in some weird way, and this is selfish, but I am jealous of the listener. And what I mean by that is it's cool to do the interview with Deray Davis, but I would rather just sit and listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, I personally.
What about that exclusive we got?
Yeah, I didn't know he's a pothead.
Well,
Well.
you just got started using
That's what it is,
THC.
right? No, but if you say, I really love it, and I'm sorry I have to apologize to everybody who did it before
That is
that I
funny
railed
that now
on.
he has to.
Although,
But that's a smart thing to do
Of
because
course.
when I was younger, I want to say like high school, middle school, high school age. I mean, you know what it is. But I was conditionally trained by my parents to, that was bad stuff.
well, you're only getting a limited experience with smoking some dried regs in the.
he had
from
never
a-
tried it, he said.
from a cocaine. Yeah, no, I know.
That's
Yeah,
my wife has never tried it.
It's weird that you
Wife's
didn't.
never tried nothing.
You never tried it as a teen, but yeah. And also, THC is not like a wine where you're like, I have 1 glass of wine at night for my heart. It's like because THC is more.
Yeah, I
like,
just smoke until I pass out.
or it's just like, I'll just have it whatever I want.
More.
Just whatever I want. You can't do that with it in wine or
Now
whatever.
that I know you can't overdose on it, I'm literally just funneling. It's like in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it stops working as good.
Yeah, then I'm like, God damn it. I was like, I need more. Then I stop eating. I'm only consuming marijuana.
2,000 milligrams a day.
A day.
My God, sir.
Yeah, a day just to get out of bed. I can't even move if I don't have 2,000 milligrams.
You're doing that There Will Be Blood where you wake up on the bowling alley, you're chugging a flask.
Oh, yeah. That's just to loosen the joints.
yeah. Just to get up from the bowling alley.
Yeah, that's called my arthritis lube.
All right. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
A little bit of time here. Let's jump into some voicemails so we don't waste it. You know, I hate wasting time, Tom. Let's go with this one right here. This is, I believe, our good friend Kenny giving us, I don't know. Kenny is, well, we'll see. Kenny's becoming a bit clingy.
Oh, he's going to
Tom and Dan and Sam and Trav. Hey guys, it's Kenny. And in a case of Tom coming up with an idea that's already been done, I know he was talking about doing, NFL simulcast where there's, a blue one and a gambling one. ESPN kind of already does that with their college football games. So anytime it's a major bowl game or like the championship game, on ESPN, they'll do the normal broadcast. On ESPN2, they'll have all their college analysts, so like Paul Feinbaum and, Mike Greenberg and just, a lot of the stuff. So it's more you're watching analysts watch the game so they can make their commentary about what's going on. And then they've done it to where, like on ESPN News, they have gambling people on there to talk about the betting and gambling implications of things that are going on with live betting.
What say you, Tom?
Well, I didn't know that. Also, are they doing it? And I understand they're doing it simultaneously, but are they actually like have a play-by-play and then like also the color commentary of what's going on, but like about gambling? That's what I, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's literally the.
I mean, I see what he's saying, but yes, what you're saying is different.
Yeah.
The thing that I've seen that I've always wondered why they don't do is that if gambling is legal, and it is, who's going to be the first? Or when are we going to get to a point where we can do sort of the same overlays that like Xbox will do if there are live games going on where, like for me, if I had my my S together, theoretically I could enter my fantasy football league, my guys, into my Xbox and then have it calculate the points for me on the side of the screen while I'm playing video games. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like always giving me a way of like interacting, not just on my phone or not just on my computer. So I'm wondering when we're going to get to a time where, and I think we will, where there will be a gambling overlay, right, on the thing because it's legal, and you can bet and then track your bet using this overlay over top of the live sport. I think that'd be pretty rad.
The complicated part is it's federally legal, but they left up to states. So all states.
Well, that's every law in our country, right?
Yeah.
It's always comes down to the state level, and
so
that's where it stays.
Every state has different, like, in the states that it is legal.
But I like your idea.
FanDuel came in.
Because it sounds fun. Like, it sounds like something I would enjoy doing. It. Like, imagine if I was able to bet on an Arsenal match or an Atlanta Falcons football game, and then I had it on the side of the screen, so when I'm watching it, I don't have to do anything. It's just calculating whether or not I'm winning or losing. Let's say I bet on who scores the first touchdown, like that one prop bet you were talking about with Jameis Winston. It'd be cool if I could organize it.
And I know that the giant sports, leagues are paying FanDuel FanDuel and like DraftKings are paying them. They're somehow in bed together because they realize they work synonymously and they're making so much money. And then so now you could do all that live bet in the states that it's legal through American companies. Now, you can do it now through offshore companies.
Now, what made me want to do this though is like on your iPad. I don't know. Any of you guys got iPads or into it at all, like a tablet?
I don't use one.
I use this one crazy, and you can swipe. And this is becoming a bit of a problem. I was doing it last night, and this is why. I talked to you about how much I love playing Poker Bros.
Yeah.
With BDM Poker.
Yeah.
I can swipe that screen over to the right-hand side and still do work, answer emails, read news, listen to music with my headphones on, and I got my poker game going on the side. It's so cool to have it like all in one, you know, like it's really, really neat. And I'm just surprised we're not there yet with...
We'll get there pretty soon.
I think it'll be rapid fire. I
Yeah.
think it'll literally be a switch, and then one day we'll be like, ooh, there it is. Because it's just...
Yeah.
It makes too much sense to not have... In the fantasy one, I know that we're talking about separate things. We're talking about actual legal gambling, and then we're talking about fantasy football or Poker Bros, which is completely different animals. But I just feel like it's too smart.
It's basically gambling.
Yeah, why not let it happen, right? Why not?
It's similar to sports gambling and the fact that you can get better at it, and the more you know or the better you get at it, something like poker or whatever, and then the reason why all the fantasy football is legal. And then those daily fantasy you can play anywhere.
I mean, we just change
and
the
betting,
rules all the time.
It's just because old people didn't understand it, and they were just like, "Yeah, I guess this is a game. This is not a game of chance. It's not like gambling. It's a game of skill." That's BS. Especially how 90% of people are playing it like a game of chance or winning basically a lotto.
I think the rules for you'll understand what I mean, but the rules for everything have kind of changed. For instance, video games. When you played video games, it used to be. You fired up the game, you got in the game, and you beat the game. Some people beat the game, some people didn't beat the game. Now, if I want to, I can swipe my credit card on my old Xbox or my new one, talking like a cowboy, and buy, like, do you want the map for all the treasure?
The
Sure,
extra
swipe
stuff.
your card. You want all the weapons? Swipe your card.
In-game purchasing.
So in a weird way, I'm like, okay, well, just if we're going to open everything, just open everything then.
Also, all the video
Why
games
not?
and stuff.
Make all the drugs legal.
Yes.
Just open everything.
They're using
Microtransactions and psychology. of the
psychology
awards.
to addict
Yes.
you to video games and to have the same things. Like
It's Pavlov, dude. It's
you're-
reward.
yeah.
Reward.
You're getting these small micro rewards, which keeps you coming back. Then you're earning something or building something, which it's all the same thing.
Well, you better talk
Don't
to
that
Norm.
mean?
He's been on DraftKings playing NBA, and he's won $200 this week.
Nice.
Well, where are you at, Norm?
Norm is your NBA guy. That's all he watches, right? Big fat
Yeah.
Norm?
Go Magic.
Well, he's
Sorry, Norm.
You're
You
doing
didn't
daily
deserve-
fantasy, right?
He did not deserve being called Big Fat Norm.
not.
That was not fair.
No,
It
he-
just fell out of my
he
mouth
likes
so
it.
easily.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and I'm going to buy a Boss Hoss motorcycle.
Why are we obsessed with this?
Because it's the dumbest motorcycle made. The Boss Hoss. I
Trike.
believe it
It's
was
a Boss-
originally called the Boss Hog trike. And then they got sued. And then they had to change it to the Boss Hoss, which
okay.
doesn't make any sense.
Anyway, so my boys, they're addicted to watching YouTube.
Well, I think that's every child in
Yeah.
America.
And so we've used their addiction to try to give them a reason to wake up in the morning, and it's working.
Well, when you put it like that, that sounds
yeah.
awfully...
No. It's smart, right? That's what you're gonna say.
You're a genius. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So we told them, they're like, because they always want to watch TV in the mornings while they eat breakfast before school. And we never have enough time. I mean, because they eat breakfast slow if they're watching TV. I constantly have to yell at them, eat! And they're like, oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
take
It's a
bite.
distraction.
And
Yeah.
then they just, they're like me. They're
Well,
just
like
they're
Maisie
staring-
will sit there and watch the TV with the food that goes in her mouth, and then it'll gently lower, lower, until eventually she just
Zombies.
takes Cheerios and dumps them right into her lap.
Yeah. So we told them, like, listen, the most TV or like the thing you want to watch the most is YouTube, and now it's Minecraft YouTube.
Who would guess that kids
They like watching.
would want to become miners? The
Right?
worst job in the world, the one that, you put
They
a
actually don't. They want to be virtual miners.
you put a canary in there.
Yeah, they just want to watch people play video games.
Right,
that's their
that's
favorite
true.
thing.
That's true.
So we told them, like, hey, if you wake up early, at 6:45 or whatever,
4 a.m., you could play Minecraft for 3 hours before school.
you can go not play, but just watch.
Oh,
you can
no
get up
playing,
and
no playing,
watch,
yeah.
and then that's fine. Because
What
then
if you tell them that if they can only watch after they finish their breakfast? Then they'll eat faster.
That's real smart.
No,
now you're flipping the game upside down. Hold on.
Here's the problem.
He didn't think of that. He's writing it down in his mind
He's gonna have them wake up at 4 a.m.
No, but then they'll get up and run to the couch and turn on the TV because they want that instant.
Yeah.
It's like
hide the remote.
It's like when the Oxy's in the car, they're running for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me too.
If you tell them the Oxy's at the end of the trip, they're like, oh,
I tell you guys,
they'll go.
This is absurd to me.
No, at the end of the day, here, like on days
they
when
need
you
it instant.
You know, when days when you guys got to work out at 3:30 and you dip off out of here, I'm usually dipping off and skipping down the road. It's only because I know I have one of my mom's Oxys left at the house. I'm running to the house.
Yeah. Like if you know you're gonna get the beer instantly,
Oh, my God.
then you'll get up.
Yeah,
you know,
you
if you're like,
cartwheel.
well, you'll get the beer after this whole rigmarole. You're like, oh God,
I'll just sleep in.
yeah.
Not that important. I'm with you.
Anyway, so it's been working. Like they get up in the morning early and they just go and watching YouTube, whatever, and
Start their breakfast earlier.
Yeah. Then I get up and then it's easier to like get them to go breakfast. Anyway, this is probably horrible parenting. This is not good.
I think we've all determined that.
So
There's some questionable things.
We're not
going
good at
on
any
over
of
there.
this.
now here's the problem. I got him into watching Tom
But
and
everything
Dan.
else is fine. Here's the problem. All right.
I got him into watching the Tom and Dan Minecraft because that's the only thing I knew. Because I remember when we back
I think
in
those guys grew up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was years. I mean, they're the teens now. I'm
those
sure.
guys are fingering.
But there used to be a Tom and Dan YouTube Minecraft team that we joked around about like years ago.
Oh yeah,
and that's
millions of hits. These guys.
So they have a bunch of videos. So I got them into that, and they like it. They're their age, around their age, and they're playing the Minecraft. They love it. Now, the other day, they were laughing about something, and I looked on the screen.
No.
And it was Minecraft.
This is Tila Tequila.
But it was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Again with the Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Blood crazy, like blood all over the sofa. Like,
Was Sonic
dead.
like, something's happened?
He was dead or something, and he was laying on the floor, and then this British guy, and he wasn't a kid.
Sonic the Hedgehog, I did.
It wasn't a kid anymore, like a young kid. It wasn't Tom and Dan. It was like some British.
It's Bill, the violent Sonic murderer.
Could have been teenage age, could have been in the 20s or whatever.
Wow, that's why YouTube's bad, man.
And then they were like,
watch us on YouTube, Tom and Dan Live.
And I was watching, and I was like, "What is this?" And then it was like, "We have to find out who injured Sonic." And then they're like, "We have to get Sonic to the hospital." It was Minecraft. I was like, "What the hell? Is this the same game that you were watching? Like, what is this?" And because all they do, they play. And when they
what
play,
happened? Did Sonic go to the hospital or what? Now I'm invested.
well, I was like, "What? I don't understand," because this is not the game that they've been playing.
Do you not monitor what your children watch?
Yeah.
Well, that is. I'm on it. I saw the bloody
Well, you walked
Sonic.
in after they already were watching.
I
Yeah,
caught
they were
Maisie
watching
watching
this for
episode
days.
7 of Bridgerton last
Oh
night.
my God.
And it was the one on the ladder. You
Oh,
know
no,
the
not
one.
the ladder
Oh, the
episode.
ladder episode. And Maisie's
And I'm like,
watching it
you
great.
look
No,
at it,
she's
lock
never,
this down.
No, I'm kidding. She's never seen that.
And then the guy was trying to find who hurt Sonic, and they're like, "We have to take him to the hospital." But it was Minecraft. But then I was like, "This is the
Well, you
same."
can delete that video.
But the same game.
You got to go in there and delete that one. I did it with Maisie. There's one, she likes the song videos, and one popped up yesterday that's like, it goes, "I'm a naughty girl. They say I'm out of control." And I go, delete. I just delete it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. You say I'm a naughty girl.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
That is gone.
I don't have to deal with
We
things
don't
like
have
that.
no
That's
naughty
real
girl.
bad.
We
Yeah.
don't have, they say I'm out of control. They say I'm a naughty girl. I'll get Andrea to send it to you. I heard it.
Yeah.
I ran across the
in.
room,
Oh.
snatched the iPad, delete.
Yeah.
That, no, sir.
No, that's where you smash it. You freak
I wanted
out.
to. I wanted to.
You
But that
start,
marijuana, it calms me down.
but when they
Deray Davis
Yeah,
is right.
he's right.
what I don't understand, and I'm sure Juan or some nerd will tell me, that when they play Minecraft, all they do, they're in this world, and they're just building 25 different suicide towers over and over, and then no trespass signs, and then they figured out they figured out how to build a
Yes.
rowboat, and they fish, and then and then
Hold on.
they built a pit, and all the villagers are stuck down there, and then they just throw their fishing
Oh
pole.
my God, these guys are.
That sounds like a very
terrible.
abusive village.
No, but
Yeah.
so
It's all nonsense, but I
so
was
wait,
like,
Tommy
how?
and Max have a slave pit?
But I don't understand how
Just
there's
like Daddy.
some version of Minecraft where there's like some sort of missions to go on, and why is there Sonic? Why
No,
is
it's
he
open,
bloody?
It's open world, and that's what the guy was doing. That guy that was kind of spinning the narrative or telling the tale, the game master, if you will.
So he built that.
Yeah.
So that
he's actually using Minecraft, I believe correctly. He's using his imagination to create a story about Sonic being injured and the kids needing to get him to the hospital.
and then when you play online, other people play
can
that.
go in there and
Okay.
play with you and see your creations and what you've built. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Okay, so
It's a social game, I believe.
so it's like what's that?
Yeah,
baby-
sourdough in our chat room says I get it. Yeah, I
Animal
think I've never played it.
Crossing, Animal Crossing. It's like that as far as you build a world, other people can go visit
That's
online.
a good. Hey,
okay.
oh my God, that's a great
Well, I
example.
just
You
need
did
to
it.
understand.
Well, that's right.
I
That's correct.
I want to understand. Anyway,
Here's the song. By the way, this got deleted in a matter of like 5 seconds in my household. I hate the song.
as far as the giraffe dancing.
I hate giraffes too.
It says for kids TV.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
that.
it's nursery
They
songs
say
for kids.
that I'm a naughty girl. They say that I am out of control.
Yeah, no, I'm
Wait,
not.
hold on. I need to
Okay,
hear the
well,
rest of
No,
it.
no, I'm not
That's
planning.
fine.
No, it's
you're,
not.
You're an
No,
insane person.
I'm
But
not.
This is for kids.
I'm not
What I was
pla-
watching
no, I'm
is
not
a
planting the
British
seed.
pedophile, a bloody
Oh, my
Sonic.
God.
I am not planting the seed.
Yeah,
Can
this
I
is
hear what the
why-
naughty girl has to say?
why would
Why
I-
do they call her naughty?
Why would I plant the seed?
no. You
No.
said it like they were like I'm a naughty girl,
Yeah,
like Britney
no.
Spears.
Sexy, yeah.
No.
This is a nerd.
Doesn't
I'm a
matter.
naughty girl. This is a giraffe
They say
TV.
that I'm a naughty girl.
I don't like
She's
it.
saying it like a nerd. You
They
made
say
it sound
that
like she was
I am
saying
out
it's
of
sexy.
Well, maybe I heard it wrong.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
God.
Well, you're
But
just like
there's
my wife.
something
You listen with your emotional ears.
Well,
Right.
I'm an emotional person, and I don't need to
Why-
plant the seed that we need naughty girls and people out of control in my home.
No,
So
no.
I don't even let that phrase be uttered. You're not out of control, and you're not a naughty girl.
Well, the whole probably there's a moral to the story at the end.
Yeah,
where
but I don't have time for the end, Tom.
well, that's all.
I'm dying.
Well, you running over and deleting it.
Yep.
You're gonna make your daughter think you're crazy. You're like,
No.
my dad's crazy.
I didn't make a big deal out of it.
If
I
he
just grabbed
deletes-
it and deleted it.
if someone says the word naughty or balls, he deletes it. What are you gonna? You're gonna be next thing you know. You're gonna be like.
I don't delete everything. I don't delete the Good Morning song. I don't delete the Swimming in the Ocean song. I don't delete Rub-a-Dub.
You're gonna be like our buddy Sleepy Jim, and you're gonna be complaining to the
Sleepy Jim
mall,
Colbert.
the mall officers that there's the belt
I don't-
buckle store that
I
has
don't
the
know
F
if I
word.
would be saying much about old Ted Colbert.
Why?
Because he's got Ted Colbert's got himself a compound bow and a tree stand. And,
Wow.
No. He's a hunter now.
oh yeah, he's
The old.
He's the
black
Nuge.
hunter.
yeah, he's
What is-
Orlando's
Jim
Ted-
Nugent.
He's Jim Nugent. He's the Orlando's.
Oh, is he-
He's Orlando's conservative boar
not
hunting hero.
He's not hunting.
I swear to God, he is.
No way.
He's got a compound bow.
Maybe he's just playing Hunger Games
he's
like I did.
building
in
a tree
Carolina.
stand.
Is
He's
he
going to
just sitting-
defend his house like a goddamn good hero.
Oh, they're coming.
Yeah, they're coming.
Insurrection.
I'm going to take my bow.
Oh, we should get the BDMs together.
Storm the tree stand.
Storm the tree.
My balls are on his keyboard. The horns.
Oh my lord, that's funny. Okay.
No, what is that? Yeah, you're crazy. That's totally
I'm not
that's totally
crazy.
appropriate.
And there's
what
a
I
good point
described
in the chat. They said maybe by the end of the song she's talking about how she's no longer
It's
a naughty
25
girl.
minutes long.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no,
that is
it's
too
not-
long.
that's for
No,
kids,
it's just
yeah.
like. But here's the thing: is in the bigger picture here is that I've done that a couple times. If I go in there and I hear something that I'm like, I don't know, that's not sitting right with me, or I don't like that, and I am serious about like I don't necessarily need Maisie listening to songs where the little girl that's in question is totally cool with being naughty. Don't need that.
Well, I'm sure the mom comes in at the end and
I'm
they're
sure
like,
it-
well,
it
now
doesn't-
I'm not.
but
I'm
like,
not.
But she never gets
I've
to the
learned
end.
my lesson.
But she never gets to the end.
I'm sure. Well, it's for kids. They made this like this kids book.
If you were there, then you can answer that question.
Oh, let's watch it.
Maisie never gets to the end.
Oh.
She only sings that part. So, of course, I'm going to delete it because I don't need that seed planted. I honestly believe in that. And you guys can call me crazy all I want, but I think if you sing I'm a naughty girl 1 million times, that at some point you might actually become a naughty girl because you're changing the influence on naughty. Naughty in my house is a big deal. You don't act naughty.
Uh-oh.
It's not flippant.
Got Nancy Reagan.
No, Nancy Reagan. You mean Tipper Gore?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I don't know.
I just
don't know
like
any
that
of
is
the
honestly
history
what
of
I
the BS.
believe. Like I do have lines in the sand that I draw, and I am the heavy in the house.
Hashtag
and
nasty woman.
Yeah, there is no naughty girl. No, we don't do that because it's not glorified in my house. It's not flippant. It's not something we just go like naughty girl. Oh yeah, that's okay. No, you don't act naughty. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I run my house.
By the way, I didn't turn off when I saw Bloody Sonic. I just stood there
Trying to
asking
figure it
my
out.
boys, like, what is this? Why isn't this in how could you could build this and all you build is suicide towers. like you could build a complicated
Dude,
Sonic.
you could build tons of stuff in Minecraft.
Well, you could do it.
Your kids probably can't, but-
Well,
Have you even tried it?
no. I don't.
Because I
don't have
bet
time
you
for
could
that.
do it.
Look up on YouTube Bloody Sonic Minecraft.
Oh my God.
I'll show you the video. I don't know if we have time.
new computer?
No, you'll.
All right, bloody.
Then there was something that they were watching where they could jump into different worlds, like there was portals, and I was like, "How is this happening?" Like I guess it's online. There's probably just like Animal
The Bachelor?
Crossing. When you fly to other worlds, maybe there's a portal in every Minecraft
I
world.
fully do not
I
understand.
mean, it could be possible, just
Minecraft.
like Animal Crossing, where you can visit other people's islands.
Okay, here is a. This guy's obviously the Minecraft guys. These are money.
Oh yeah,
sites.
I mean,
Okay, here's a bloody Sonic chasing a non-bloody Tails.
yeah. This is something. I think they watched this one, and I was like, why are they all bloody?
Why is it playing like?
What was that? Disturbed?
Yeah, why is it playing Disturbed in
I
the
don't know.
background or like what is it? 3 Days Grace or some
Yeah.
Here's okay. Do I have
some butt rock band?
There's no way, like in one of these videos, especially like I look down at the views. It has like some sort of commercial in front of it, like something horrible is spliced in there.
Could
that'll
be.
Popped in.
Yeah, like Fight Club style.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean
yeah,
like when they were doing that with Momo? The
Oh yeah, whatever happened to Momo?
no, it burned too hot. It burned
Yeah.
hot. Everybody was like, if your kids watch that, like, now that I agree with you about. It's like if your kids watch that, they're gonna kill you and decapitate you in the middle of the night. I'm like, what?
Because Momo said it will.
Like, what is it now? It's
will-
nothing. It's a video of a ghost named Momo. You put it. It's like an Asian ghost, and if you watch it. If your kid watch it, they'll decapitate you in the middle of the night. Really?
Science.
Seems like it take more.
Yeah, then people are on the news or some lady on the news. She's like, "I'm down to farm Momo." You know, like they're like yelling, and like I'm like, "What are you talking about?
Creepy pasta.
Was that even real? The Momo thing? Because it burned
I don't
real
think
hot.
so, man. I don't.
It burned super hot, and all I saw,
Blow these
it looked
things
like
out
a
of
person
proportion.
with a big mouth,
Yeah.
right?
Big bird mouth.
Yeah, like a big bird mouth.
Yeah. It's a big claymation bird human, right?
How do people invent these things?
It's stupid. What?
I want to invent one of these like tall tales that just kind of goes.
Yeah, creepy pasta.
Yeah, I want to make one.
It's so weird, and I wonder if we'll ever figure it out. If
Oh, Juan says it had bird feet too. It was like a harpy. Interesting.
Do you think that there are smart enough marketing firms or someone has figured out like how to turn something viral?
Yeah.
For sure, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but I don't think
is
it's,
it guaranteed?
No, I don't think it's always
No.
guaranteed, but I think there are ways to get close. I think it's a lot like you studying gambling. I think you can study it and get as close as humanly possible to it, but there's always going to be an element of luck.
Okay,
or
yeah,
different
yeah.
like things floating around in there. You know what I mean? Like different maybe
Variables that
you're
you-
not thinking about.
Cultural
or, like-
variables,
Like for
timing.
instance, COVID. You know, like
Yeah.
that's a dice roll, right?
There's timing issue. Yeah. But there's some sweet spot where it's like, boom, viral, the hugest, biggest thing in the world, and dead. All right. Oh, bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. Did you check the fish tank? New fish in there.
There's new fish?
There's new fish in there.
What?
But it's less of a fish and more of like what appears to be some sort of moving turdman
Okay.
with eyes.
So we got a new turd fish.
We have a turd fish
Okay.
in there, yeah.
All right. I saw the, I can't say this word very well, anemone. Anemone.
I think you did pretty good.
Anyway, and
Close enough.
I ain't never had a real anemone before.
and then it collected shells
Blindside.
on its spikes, and I
Yes.
didn't know it did that. I didn't know that.
You know what? You get the hell out of here. No,
it went around and collected shells on its spikes.
I feel like we've missed the mark on our whole fish tank project that we had over the COVID quarantine.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get the fish tank in, get the fish in the fish tank, then name the fish on the fish cam for
Right.
charity.
Yo,
but
I
so
forgot
far,
about
what
that.
we've done, we have the fish tank, we have the fish, but our fish are dying.
yeah. Flooded our
then-
carpet good, real good.
Oh, flooded our car, ruined it. Salt water just.
Stinks in here.
This whole
Well,
place.
oh
my God.
Butler.
It smells like Popeye's adult diaper in here. It's horrible. It smells like fish. And
I told Butler, I was like,
then Butler's
they
always
said-
leaving the doors open on the fish tank, and then he's like, "It's flinging mung crazy," and I'm like, "Flinging mung? I don't even know what that." He's like, "Yeah, it's whip it up. It's got the yellow brown whip. It's got the mung whip," and I'm like, "Butler, shut the doors on it. Unplug it and push it outside." This happened yesterday, and it's your fault, Tom. I blame you. Don't sit there and just laugh. Don't sit there and just laugh at me because I'm sharing with the listeners why you are ruining my life.
I told you guys not to get that thing.
I like the fish tank, but these guys, they put their...
Nobody
It
upkeeps it.
flung the mung everywhere.
There was... Sam, when you were gone, it
All
smelled... It was bubbling over yellow-brown mung.
Oh my God.
Flung in the mung. Mung flunging.
And then Butler was like, "Oh God, the carpet is all wet underneath."
Then they try to lie to me. They try to keep their voices
Then
down like
Butler
little
was like,
kids.
Let's
You know-
lift up the
like-
fish tank. I'm like, lift it up. It's
Oh
800
my
pounds
God,
of
you're gonna
water.
break the entire aquarium.
They might as well have been Tommy and Max. Tom's son's over there. They're whisper talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's got mung. The carpet's got mung all over. Flung crazy. Oh, this part of the carpet's ruined." And they don't think I hear this.
Right.
They think I'm just sitting in here. I'm just editing. I'm so immersed. You think editing is hard for me? It's easy for me, and I can hear everything you're saying.
Hey, we did try to keep it down
You
because
did.
I was like, don't.
You
I was like,
goddamn
don't-
liar.
I was like,
Don't
don't
scream about the mung.
I don't even. You know what I've learned? You know what this business has taught me? You can't trust anybody, not even your friends.
And then it was.
It was whipping the mung. Whip, 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 and it would
It was
throw
bubbly,
froth.
and then froth.
And then Butler's like, "Well, they're telling me to unplug the one plug from the power strip. Which one? The one closest to the switch or the one closest to the tail?"
Yeah, well,
and I'm like, "I don't know. I don't defuse bombs."
They told me to like unplug the first plug on the power strip, and that's it. And then like, so I was like, well, which one is it? The one closest to the on-off or the
First
other?
one from the left or first one
And
from the
then
right?
I was like,
said,
which
you
is
know what I
plug
said?
one?
You know what I said? I said, "Well, why don't you text him, geniuses, and ask?"
Yeah.
They're like, "No, we'll just chance it."
What?
And then Butler's like, "I unplugged one. Is it doing anything?"
Yeah, it's still
It's a moron.
double mung.
Double mung.
It was double mung.
Oh God. Glad
Anyway,
I'm back.
they came and fixed it, so we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Mung free.
For now.
Wow, when I left
Yeah.
here yesterday, when I walked out of here, it was like it's like walking out of it was literally like walking out of a boarded up Captain D's restaurant. And then when I walked in here this morning, oddly enough, no mung. Smelled great in here. So
Yeah, but we can't lift up the tank because under.
well, I've just
There's gonna be mold or
It's a
anything.
mung field.
it's a mung field. We have some guests on the line that have been sitting through this excruciating
sorry.
tale
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the entire time. I'm going to let you do the honors, sir.
Yes. Now they have a couple shows coming up. And I feel like when people hear shows, they're like, "What? I thought it'd never exist again." Literally, I thought that was it. We're dead.
You've also been saying the radio is going to be dead
I
every
know.
single year.
Yeah. Chugging
and,
along.
Yeah, well, COVID
yeah, it's
actually
doing
saved
all right.
radio.
Yeah, I'll die before that time. I admit I was wrong.
Yep.
Just slow.
Nothing's
Too
going
big.
away but you, Tom.
Anyway,
But on the line with us right now are good friends of the show. We've had them on many, many times. Not in this incarnation, not live via Zoom. It's our friends, the band BMO. You can go to mynameisbmo.com to check them out.
Tony, Dan, and JB, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how we doing?
Hello.
So
Greetings from
Doing great, and surprisingly hungry for seafood right now.
Yes. Well, you wouldn't if you were here and you saw the fish tank and were part of it. You'd understand how it's going to tear up our company. It's going to tear it apart.
Now, full transparency to the listeners, this is the first time we've ever done multiple people on Zoom, and Daniel changed the way we used to do it all on Skype.
Yeah, well, because OBS works natively with this thing called an NDI pass-through that you can... I won't bore you with the details, but they were set up for Skype, and now we've switched to Zoom, and it works pretty good, and you guys can see us. But, yeah, we've never had multiple Zoom folks on the line. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is going to go like any of your Zoom meetings that you have at Chipotle or whatever your business is, your insurance company, where everybody's talking at the same time and people get cut off. Whoever's talking gets bounced to the front.
Oh, look, there's JB. He's got his Hawaiian background, and he's got a hat on and zinc oxide on his nose because he's a real cut-up.
Yeah.
That guy.
Dan's gonna start, and then there was
Dan. Dan, you're still on tape. Dan.
The people screaming.
Mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's been going on, guys? Like new music? Have you been like? I would imagine that COVID, other than doing shows, is kind of like a recording dream for you guys. Are you writing new music? Do you tuck in? What do you do?
We are writing, but honestly, it was, and I would say initially we just kind of fell off the face of the earth for a couple of months while we kind of regrouped. But believe it or not, shows and promoting our previous work while we write new stuff has been keeping us quite busy over the fall.
Sure.
So yeah. We got a stint with SeaWorld over the fall, which is pretty cool. Then we got an opportunity to play at the Plaza Live. So like you said, a lot of venues have been shut down, boarded up, or whatever, but the Plaza is doing a great series right now called the Front Porch Series, and bands are playing in the parking lot. So it's all socially distanced. Tickets are reasonable, and you get to hear great music from a slew of other great local artists.
Yeah, all kinds of different styles and, genres of music that you can check out.
And I also feel like, and we were actually having this conversation earlier this week about like what is conducive to the new way of doing things. And obviously the new way we have to do things is obviously socially distanced and safer, and people are further apart and stuff.
Yeah, it's different.
And we started going through entertainment, and really music is one of the things that check all those boxes where you can enjoy it and still have a similar experience and be safe and be socially distant and stuff. Like, and we started going through like comedians and stuff. When you're doing stand-up, it's, obviously they're doing it now where every other table and stuff like that, but it still has to be a little intimate. I feel like if you're in a field and, there's 1,000 people there, music you can consume in that way, being apart from everybody, and it'd be cool still. Well, it'd be close to the same as everything.
Well, like one good thing about music is when it hits you, you feel no pain.
Yes, that is true.
Write that down.
That's one good thing.
It is.
I almost screamed Deray.
Why would you scream that?
Date rape, Sally! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
I'm sorry,
So
Bimo.
the difference that COVID did to us was we used to be a bar band, and COVID turned us into a porch band. We have the Porch Series at the Plaza. We have the Porch Fest in Sanford. We were playing on a porch in front of sharks in SeaWorld. Sounds like you're operating out of SeaWorld right now, basically.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about that, though, is that, like, for you guys who really never stop, and I think we all here kind of know that you're not going to stop. I mean, you guys are probably one of, if not the most driven band that we deal with, right? I mean, these guys you're always doing something. You're always working, promoting, trying to get yourselves that next big gig. And I really admire
the hustle.
That. Yeah, Tom and I really admire the hustle. Now, real quick, I just want to get these out there. You're going to be at the Plaza Live on the 28th of January, the Sullivan on February 26th, Sanford Porch Fest on the 27th of February, and the Sullivan again also on the 27th. But before we I'm losing my train of thought here. What I wanted to ask you really about these type of shows is when you do this, when you go into these type of gigs that are less than ideal, and what I mean by that is, the porch. I mean, of course, you'd rather be on the stage at Hard Rock Live, or you'd rather be on the stage at House of Blues. Who wouldn't? Yeah. But when you're doing something outdoors, do you guys go into that looking at it like it's almost like you're practicing woodshedding, and if you can accomplish a great performance in a less than ideal venue, I think that maybe there's some sort of value in that, no?
I mean, I would say that no matter what the show, no matter where, we just play our heart out. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's for 2 people or 200. We love to play, and just, you know, give me a wine bar, give me whatever you got.
Yeah.
We'll perform to the best of our ability. And the porches, they actually make us feel more comfortable.
Okay.
Because we have to really think about the social distancing. We're outside. I feel better sometimes because of the situation we're all in.
It's certainly more homely, right? Like, it's certainly, if you're on a porch, it certainly doesn't have the grand, you know, sort of pomp and circumstance as a present, stage.
Yeah,
or proper staging.
And BMO, that's where you guys are different than me and Daniel, because our motivation level, our caring, our happiness, all revolves around how many people show up to see us. So if there's a small crowd,
oh yeah.
Not only do we give less than 5%,
I just won't go on.
We actually try to ruin it and make everybody who did show up miserable by making fun of them, making the show as bad as possible. We're mad.
We do a lot of screaming at them, like, what do you know? We're like, oh, come on, that's funny. Yeah, we do a lot of that.
Yeah. And we're mad. So that's what you get at the Tom and Dan. You know, if it's less than optimal, you know, if less than what we thought showed up, we're mad. We're like, we'll ruin this show.
And we burn it down,
Sorry. And let me ask you guys this: with promoting shows, like when you talk about it, there is a stigma that people immediately think of, where they're like, "What? You're doing concerts? Like
too soon, BMO."
They also they think of what it used to be, but obviously these are safe events organized to keep people separate, and so you can still enjoy live
They're
music.
Putting tons of thought into that,
and mask and being this is not what in your mind. I think when you say concert in people's mind, they're like packed together, or you just like that. And have you guys experienced that when you're promoting generally, where you get some sort of backlash for even doing live performance?
Honestly, we haven't received any sort of backlash, but I think we've been pretty good about, and our the venues where we've been playing have been really good about advertising the distancing and the health aspects of the venues themselves. So just the idea that these venues are having us perform outside. Again, they're distanced. Actually, the plaza specifically, you can get blocks of individual tables that are separated from each other. So I think everybody's been really good about advertising for that. And honestly, the response we've gotten is, my God, thank you so much. We've been dying for live music. Yeah. And thanks for doing it in such a way that makes us feel comfortable and coming out. So we did do the front porch series last fall in October at the Plaza, and I got to say, it was so awesome. I mean, it was smooth. The parking lot was quite full, and you could hear us back on Bumby, and the beer and wine was flowing. So it was awesome. A really, really good time.
Yeah, and it's cool. Everybody, we all as a society figured out, all right, how we missed this. We
have
need
to
this.
Adapt. Yeah.
Well, let's just figure out a way to do it safely, because also people need to make a living. There's these venues need to do something. So people are conforming and adapting and pivoting to the new way of doing it safely. So it's cool that you guys are back doing shows. And again, you can find out all the information, I'm sure, at mynameisbmo.com.
Indeed. January 28th, the Plaza Live. The 26th of February at the Sullivan. Also the 27th, you can grab them at the Sullivan as well. And don't forget Sanford Porch Fest, and we love Sanford, February 27th as well.
It's good talking to you guys.
Hey, we have one too. Speaking of the hustle, Dan, you want to tell them about the licensing deals?
Oh, yeah, that's another thing we were busy with in the fall. We got 11 different licensing contracts, and the one we're really hoping comes through is NASCAR.
Really?
See, now that is what I'm talking about. You guys always, that is exactly an example of what I was saying earlier about you guys are always doing something. I know that you guys love playing music, don't get me wrong, but it'd be stupid and kind of silly to not use your business brain and try to do some stuff that can prop up your band for the future.
And how does that work? Do they find you guys on Spotify? Like how
do you submit?
Yeah.
JB,
specifically, there was a company that found us, and really for the style of music that we write, they can't really, replicate as far as for TV shows and movies and all that. You can't do it with MIDI.
Right.
We've got authentic instruments that are being recorded, and it's really tough to find a level of competency that you've got recorded the way we do. So they reached out to us specifically, and we've been working with Tinderbox Music for about 6 months now on promotion, and this was kind of the culmination of getting in with what, Discovery Channel, NASCAR.
Yeah, JP, how many do we have? Do you remember everything?
Oh, in terms of total amount of licensing deals we have, I don't know, it's close to 11. But I'm most excited about the opportunity to have our music played on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's cool,
Always.
though, right?
Yeah,
always been a dream of ours. I feel like we relate most closely to Kylie, but I think we'll take Kim if we can get her.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We also have Bill Nye the Science Guy, so that's what I'm excited about. Bill Nye decided to license our music, so we're just kind of waiting to see if they pick it up. So
that's cool,
let's hear
man.
It's not to ask you guys like too much into your business, but I'm always interested in these kind of things.
Yeah, this is interesting.
It's gonna be
But
personal.
is it and
how big are y'all's D?
Is it a standard fee that's like universal? That's like, all right, we'll pay X, and that's kind of like a broadly like the standard, or is it individual to each particular? Now I understand, like obviously you're. If you get Jay-Z is going to ask for more money than BMO, I understand that aspect, but I'm just saying for like
that's horribly insulting.
No, as like, is there a standard for that licensing like fee?
You could have stopped right there.
Yeah, I like that long. I like my questions to be long and a little bit insulting.
I like to say he could have said, "Is it a standard license?
Yeah.
Is there a standard licensing agreement?"
You don't know how to do it.
Wait.
You don't know.
And you're not as good as Jay-Z. He asked for lots of money. You just asked for a little bitty BMO money.
We're not on the high end of the spectrum for sure.
Well, dust your shoulders off.
But no, all of it depends upon duration and number of streams and that sort of thing. So, we got someone we know that she didn't even realize she was picked up on a TV episode like 6 months ago. She just got the royalty check in the mail. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
she was on an episode of, I can't remember the show, but for like 1 minute and 32 seconds. So
yeah, passive money that you already recorded the song.
Right.
You love it anyway. Passive money where they're just going to use it to set a scene and then send you a check. Come on, man. That's the American dream.
And there's all like an algorithm based on the popularity of the show and then the time duration the music gets played.
Stephen Kramer did that with a few of his songs from his band The Effect, the band Bughead that was an Orlando band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they sold some to MTV. I'm trying to think of other guys that I heard. Like, you would be watching like an episode of Road Rules and you'd hear like an old Bughead song kick in, and I'd be like, hold on. There's my friends.
BMO,
It's crazy to think that you guys, I consider you friends. It's crazy to think that I could sit down to watch like The Gauntlet on MTV or whatever, and there's a BMO song in there. That's cool, man.
BMO, I'm imagining
there is no BMO. They're individual humans.
But I'm asking everybody.
Collective BMO question.
Because what if you start doing this, it becomes popular, and then like everybody's like, oh, you got to license BMO's music for like it fits really well. Anyway, and you realize you're like, we can just be stinking rich, just recording and producing music, never have to tour live again.
There are a lot of people that do that.
Would you? Because for me, I feel it's like touring, going, setting up. It's like, but there is it's like a stand-up comedian. You get gratification for performing live and stuff. But I'm so lazy. I'm like, man, if I could just go to the studio in my pajamas and make the music.
That's the Don LaFontaine,
right? And then just be as rich. So would you still perform live or just sit studio stinking rich?
It would have to totally say that I would perform live for sure, man.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. These Porch Fest things that we're doing right now, they are a blast. But there is nothing like filling up a bar room full of people in an Irish pub and singing together. There's something about live performance that just that does it for me.
It's the reason you're doing this.
Yeah.
JB, what were you saying?
I don't know. The money would be great. I mean, it would.
JB's taking the money and running.
Well, apparently JB's got 100 animals. Every picture of JB, JB's every picture he lifts up a different dog he's rescued. I'm like, good God, JB, you need the money. You're a bleeding heart. You love animals.
If I could just be in my house with my dogs, I don't want to go anywhere.
I just want to play my percussion and hug my puppies.
For $1 a day, you too can sponsor.
Oh, it's his cat. That's a cute cat. Well, fellas, hey, thanks so much for the time. Again, my name is bmo.com. If you ever want to, jump in there and see where these guys are playing very, very soon. Multiple dates in the upcoming future in Sanford. And hey, guys, don't be strangers. We'll talk to you very, very soon. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, y'all. Yep, we'll see you soon. That is our good friends, BMO.
All right, it didn't go that bad either with the Zoom
multiple
and
people.
Other than on their end, like just
jumping back
knowing
and forth. Yeah.
On our end, everything's great. I'm feeling a little weird because normally, like something
Don't
breaks.
jinx it.
I know. Normally, like I will now go, well, that worked, but this
why'd you
computer's
say anything?
fried.
What I was mainly worried about is like you do that thing where someone starts talking and then there's a tiny delay. There's right.
But we do that anyway, just looking at each other.
That's true.
And then everything I'm gonna ask them, like they all jump in, then they all stay quiet because they're like, "Oh, you go."
I'll go. You go. JB, you want to take that one? I'm sorry, my cat just barfed.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back to.
Oh yeah. You're becoming Rodney Dangerfield. Yesterday,
The man he hates.
Yesterday, you do hate Rodney, but sometimes when you're relaxed and laughing, you fall into. You're like, oh yeah,
Dumb old man.
That's a nice. Oh, that's a horrible hat. Looks great on you though.
Maybe I like.
Oh,
him.
He likes him
My
now.
wife came home in a green dress with pockets. I said, "Oh, if there were some balls here, you'd be a pool table."
Here. Oh, Rodney, he probably did some things, right?
Oh, yeah.
No respect.
Oh, yeah.
He probably did some things, said some off-color
Yeah,
things.
no respect.
He
Get a free bowl of soup with that.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here, and joining us via the power of Zoom telecommunications is our good friend, Cadillac Pat. What's up, Pat?
What's up, gang? What's going on?
How you doing?
Doing great.
So now, if you're listening to this on our podcast or terrestrial radio, you wouldn't have seen the exchange we had because we do all our shows live on Twitch. So basically, when we start recording, we take a lunch break and we just put on fish cam.
Yeah.
And then Daniel plays cartoons or
very unconventional style,
or just leaves music up. Yeah. And so if you want to listen live, and we record crazy out of order, all driving Daniel insane.
Well, every weekday, 10:30. If you just show up at 10:30 at twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, we'll be there. And we will record live. And then if you want the replays, you can search Tom and Dan Live on YouTube.
You can also listen to audio only. People don't know.
That's true.
I don't even concentrate on that anymore because it's just like it's out there.
You can go to the Twitch app, and then once you're on, you could just hit audio only and just hear the live feed of all the shows we record. Anyway, so during that time, we were having a argument, more of a conversation, a debate, a discussion about where to accurately rank Carrabba's in the scale of fanciness.
You are really worried about Carrabba's.
Well, it seems
popped in my head, and I was like, how fancy is Carrabba's?
I do think you hit the nail on the head, and I think that maybe somebody was a little embarrassed that he thought he had thought up some genius idea. When he's like, I know where I'll take my wife for date night.
Right.
Carrabba's.
Yeah, Valentine's Day's coming up. He's thinking about it.
And that's how we got on because you're so basic bitch, you're taking your wife to Carrabba's.
No, it's crazier
for
than
the
that.
mussels marinara.
I literally just thought of Carrabba's. It popped in my head. And then I started thinking,
oh, Carrabba headache.
I'm like, how fancy is Carrabba's? I was like, no one ever talks about Carrabba's. Does it still exist?
Yeah.
Do people like Carrabba's?
Does it hurt Carrabba's feelings that they're not in the forefront
like,
anymore?
do people say,
Chris
ooh,
Carrabba's looking great.
They're like,
nowadays.
He does look good now. Smooth skin.
they're like, man, I haven't had a baked potato from Carrabba's
No!
in so long.
Who
I
gets
don't
a baked potato at
If you-
Carrabba's?
I don't know what even
You know
Carrabba's
what?
specializes
If
in.
I went with you to
Pasta.
Carrabba's and you're like, one baked potato, please, I would kick you out.
One
I
baked
would-
potato haze.
I would kick you out.
So then, anyway, then we started. I'm trying to accurately
Tom's
place.
new name is Baked Potato Haze
Baked potato
because
haze.
he's
I'm like-
on the medical marijuana.
I'm like, what's fancy at Carrabba's? Cheese Cake Factory, and then we all cheesecake, and we all Bonefish, and all these other
Yeah, we're kicking around all these
Buca de Beppo's
chains.
are popular.
And then while we were doing that, we've switched to Zoom. So Cadillac Pat
and then we're waiting.
sneaks in.
We're waiting for Cadillac Pat this whole time. It's not even the part of the show. We're just
Right.
talking about Carrabba's, and then
Behind the
then we
scenes.
start talking about fast food.
Then we stop and we're like, okay, who are we waiting for? And then Samantha's like, we're waiting for Cadillac Pat. He's like, I'm right here. he was there the whole
He
time.
was very polite.
He digitally snuck
Yeah.
in. He didn't tell us he was here. And
He
then
didn't interrupt.
and then he's like, we were talking about Subway, and then he's like, hey guys, I'm sorry to say this hot take here, but I had Subway the other day, and it was actually really good. And we're like, no, and
I need
Tom's
to know
like,
the order.
Tom's like, F you, no way.
no.
All right, give me the
no,
sub order.
no.
What was the order?
Yeah, we have to know what his
Yeah.
sub order was.
I just got a traditional like turkey sub on that. They got
No
a really good
way.
like Asiago cheese bread. That's what makes it.
No,
But
they
I got
Sir,
Turkey.
Cat-
You
as
went,
a former sandwich artist, it's
you went
trash.
for slime turkey. That's that slime turkey,
It is
dog.
slime turkey.
Slime turkey. Who
It
the
was
F
really good.
eats slime turkey?
And Pat, remember when I told you
Dry ass vegetables. Them green peppers don't have any water in them.
That's because they're days old.
what you were saying was impossible, and now a lot of people are saying, well, it's all subjective. Anybody can think anything is good. But
Now Norm in our Twitch chat room is saying 100% Subway has the best bread. I mean, you guys seriously are turning on us today. I'm not in the
Subway
mood.
has the best bread.
I'm not in the mood, guys.
What are you talking about?
I'm not in the mood.
That's
I've made that Subway bread.
It's
It's
in-
not the best.
it's
bread.
you are saying impossibilities because you're using the wrong adjective.
Norm, he's holding fast. He
It's
says
frozen
F,
sticks.
he
It's
says-
big heat up.
F Subway, but he says they have the best bread. You guys are crazy.
You do not have to, because unless you're a baby or it's for some weird reason you haven't experienced any sort of life.
Well, maybe you don't have taste. Maybe you have COVID. And you think
You
Subway's
have
the
COVID.
best. You're eating it. You're like, I need my strength back. I'm fighting COVID. I have
Hold
no
on, Pat.
taste. Oh, this is wonderful.
Pat worked in the restaurants all his life. For
That's
sure,
true.
you've had an experience where you've eaten delicious, fresh baked bread by a chef that
By
specializes
an actual
in bread.
baker, like a pastry chef.
And when you eat the higher quality food, you're like, oh man, this is like you can't even argue
Okay,
how
Ghost
much
of
better
Manu
it
Bull
is.
in our Twitch chat room says, I usually get chopped salads at Subway. Are you all insane?
These guys
You
are
guys
insane.
all eat Subway? I haven't eaten Subway.
You know what? You guys stop listening to us.
I
if
have
you eat
not
Subway.
eaten
chopped salad.
I haven't eaten Subway in 6 years, I bet.
Like, yeah,
Chopped salad, I'd rather chop my head off than eat it.
there are places that make better chopped salad. Are you going there because you're poor? If that's one reason, I
Just
understand.
go to Wawa. Wawa's better
You've
than
made
Subway.
some bad decisions.
Okay, what-
Wawa's not better than Subway.
I
Oh
disagree,
my
sir.
good. Okay,
with
look,
salads.
what?
With
No, I
subs
don't
or
know that.
salads.
I don't know.
What do you
yeah,
normally?
yeah, you're right. I would argue that Wawa makes a better sandwich.
Thank you.
I hope
I like
we've ruined.
Subway because I know they're kind of
iHeart's
corner
point.
by doing
Hoagie
this, but
Fest.
they have real thin cucumbers and thin like tomatoes, and I like it like that. I know they're doing it to save money, but a real thin cucumber and tomato is like it just tastes better. I don't know why.
I do like now. Okay, we agree on something because I do like my toppings. Publix, I'm looking at you.
Thick.
You go
I like
to
it.
you
No,
know.
put a
I get a
lot.
whole onion on my
They're
sub at
cucumbers
Publix for some
are
reason.
It's too much. Like I go, can I have some jalapenos? That girl will reach in there
Yeah,
and give me.
That's what I want. Just take it off.
Give
then.
me 500 jalapenos. No, here's the problem.
You're an extra.
I get the jalapenos. I also get a bucket of jalapeno juice. So my whole sandwich from
Yeah.
Publix ends up being just all of these mushy
You're a
vinegar vegetables.
You're a sloppy baby.
Oh.
You don't like-
No, I don't eat like that.
you
You're
don't
a
like-
sloppy baby, sir. I'm
No.
a new sloppy baby, and you, sir, are no sloppy baby.
No, I'm
And
just saying
Publix
you're.
bread is always freaking hard. I swear, Publix bread is always kind of stale to me. Like every time I get
I
Publix
agree.
stuff,
I
it's always
agree.
like too like I've been there. It's like it's been there too long. Like I'm too late for a public.
Well,
sub.
I will say the system that they have of keeping the bread fresh seems to be
flawed.
antiquated.
It's
and
flawed.
all it really is
Their
a
system
plexiglass box.
Their system, apparently, we live in the future. We have Space Force, for Christ's sake. But public system for their bread. We have a Space Force. We have a brand new
There
branch.
has to be a humidifier or something.
We have a branch of the armed forces that deals with space, but their public's the way they keep their bread. Old lady puts bread in box.
Yeah.
That's what
Bread
it is.
box.
Plexiglass box.
Yeah.
Couldn't you put some sort of like humidifier in there or have some?
I don't want wet bread.
no, I'm just saying moist or
don't want
fresh.
wet bread.
Some sort of system.
You know what? Another thing I have
Right?
a problem with. Another thing.
Imagine if they did.
Another thing I have a problem with. Old lady making my sub.
Why?
I'm talking to her. Listen here, old lady making my sub. If I ask for white bread, and you look up into your little plexiglass bin, and you see a nubbin, and what I mean by a nubbin, I mean a piece of white bread that's 3 inches long that came off the end of that other sub because the lady cutting it was dyslexic and didn't know how to evenly cut a sub roll, and you grab that nubbin and you start making my sub, I'm going to walk the F out of there. I'm walking out.
Don't give me a
Don't
nubbin.
give me the nubbin. I don't want the nubbin. They should all be the same GD size.
Yeah.
Little White Nubbin is your right name.
You know, I've never had a Publix tender sub in my entire life either. People always look at me weird.
Overrated.
Also-
They are
Overrated. It's overrated. The breading falls off
And
when
the
they overchop.
dry tenders.
They
Also-
overchop
Yeah,
it.
I like their tenders, but I like to drown them in barbecue
You
sauce.
gotta drown
You
them in
have to
sauce.
because they're dry and they don't put any salt on them. There's no salt on those tenders. Those are the least salty tenders.
Also,
Salt them tenders up, man. God.
the chicken tender sub has, and I realize it's a stereotype, but it's stereotype for morbidly obese people because they love it. And then I feel embarrassed ordering that because they're like, what?
I mean, everybody knows that you have that one morbidly obese friend, and everybody knows that that's the only friend that posts when that sub's on sale as a Facebook status, like it's needed to be screened.
Yeah. Also, why? What's the motivation of posting that? There's a lot of negatives. One is people are clowning you because they're like, look how
I'm
much
still
he loves
fat.
it. Yeah, like, look how much he loves it. And obviously he's not on
Look how much he loves it.
he's not on any sort of diet, which he needs to be, right?
Yeah.
And then
At it again.
And then the other negative that could only hurt you is now it could possibly be sold out because you
Right.
promoted it
Don't
too much.
let's talk about it.
Why don't they keep it a secret?
But
why do they start advertising when the
Hold on.
GD McRib is out or the
We
Now, I
did
need to know when the McRib is back so I can go
don't
get one.
tell everybody.
No.
What they're laughing at. They're all gonna laugh at you. Adam Sandler.
They
You are some old man.
I want to gripe about things today while we have what's this guy's
Remind
name?
me to go back to
Okay,
no.
while we have Cadillac Pat on the line, I want to gripe about things.
Yeah.
I don't like going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting a coffee, and every single time they ask me if I want a shot of extra caffeine in there. I don't want that. If I wanted it, I'd tell you I want it. Stop asking me.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah, they're like,
extra caffeine.
would you like a espresso shot for 50? No. You ask me every morning. And I say no every morning. Stop asking me.
Long. Always. The line's so long at Dunkin' Donuts, too, just for a coffee. I hate going there because the line's always like 10 people long.
Yeah, I sit in my car. I do that move. I will sit in my car for 3 hours in a line for a cup of coffee in the morning.
Why is the nubbin so hard?
Yeah, the end of the nubbin because they let it sit.
It's as hard
They let
as-
It's been sitting there for a
It's as
minute.
hard as a peg leg.
I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. But
Can't even cut through it.
the reason you get the peg leg is because those dumb old ladies take that bread and they stick it in that plexiglass box, full on knowing, aiding and abetting the corporation, knowing that bread is gonna the next day be as hard
Yes.
as a missile.
You know what? There must be some psychology when someone orders a half and then you take out a full, and then while they're looking at you, I feel
give
like
them an extra 2 inches.
you-
Don't do that.
You edge it over.
Stop it.
To make the person looking at
But
you
you just
happy.
created a nubbin.
Yeah, I know. But then you have you don't feel bad when you get the nubbin. What is it? Which
Yeah.
one? Do you feel bad for giving the person not a full half, or do you? What is it?
If you're gonna cut it like that, no,
you have no remorse for giving the nubbin out.
Okay, I'm talking about these sub ladies again. Fine, we'll dedicate the whole show to this. When you grab that
Pat's
nubbin,
just sitting here.
do not put the nubbin. Pat, shut your mouth. Do not put the nubbin back in the box. Throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
That nubbin's
It's
no
4
good.
cents. Publix, you're rich.
Yeah, and cut the nubbins off both ends. Nobody wants the nubbin. You only want the heel of the bread when it's fresh, hot bread.
You know what? I'm
God,
from being.
bless it.
I will tell you from being. This is some.
So mad right now.
I'll tell you some inside subman.
Here we go.
Pat, I apologize.
Inside secrets.
Pat, I apologize.
From
You
a
did not.
subman.
You did not deserve that, and I was wrong, and I apologize to you. I'm sorry I acted like
Apology
that.
accepted.
I'm a subman insider, so I know the business. And there was a while back, even when I was getting out of the sub game, but this was starting to happen where independent sub shops were not going to offer the option of a 6-inch anymore because of that problem, especially when every loaf counts.
You give one guy, you
Seriously.
can't say that. You can't say that.
And
No loaf left behind.
No, you can't say anything of
But
that.
so they were having problems with getting nubbins. So then they started offering you can get a full or a reduced sub where they just cut both nubbins off both ends, and then
So
it's
you giving me a 9?
It's like a 9. It's like
Nine
a
and a
9.
quarter. That's called the John Holmes.
But no
The
6.
give me the John Holmes.
Because
cut the ends off at 9.5.
if they offered a 6, their dumb employees like me would be guilted into giving the people from the fresh cut
I
a
never
little
did that
extra.
as a sandwich artist, sir.
What
I
about-
had integrity.
what
I
about
cut them in 6s.
What about a half inside of a half? I had a lady in front of me the other day that got the nubbin
ask for
and then
that.
asked for 2 3s.
Yeah.
I go, you're an insane
Because they
person.
split it with other people.
Anyway, Pat, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We've been better.
Yeah, all this nubbin talk. I'm mad now.
My God.
If I had any motivation, I'd write a letter.
Yeah, I would too.
If you could write.
And I don't
And he
care.
doesn't know how to spell nubbin.
So, Pat, what have you been up to?
Well, I was screwing around in my closet the other day, and I found some old stuff I want to show you guys that I
Oh
have.
my God, this is my girlfriend's head.
No.
Found this decomposing really well. Look at all that
I
green,
found-
that beautiful green up top.
I mean, you might have saw on Facebook the other day. I found my old Game Boy.
I did.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
And
Pat,
it works. I'm jealous. Do you have any games?
Yeah, I got a couple of them here. Hang on.
hold on.
I got Super Mario Land. Where's my
Nice.
camera
That's a classic.
at? I got everybody's favorite Tetris, which is really the only game I can ever really remember playing a lot of.
I played Super Mario Land, and then there was a Batman game, the original Michael
I got
Keaton.
Batman too. That's what I have as well. Batman right here.
Oh, that's a great game.
yeah,
That
Batman was good.
and Super Mario World, both of those are really good black and white Nintendo games.
And then I got Super Tech Mobile football version too.
Nice.
Now-
you got all the good stuff.
Good for the 80s, but now...
Well, throwback 8-bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you play them, Pat, is it almost impossible?
It's Super Mario World or Super Mario Land is still fun, and Tetris is still fun, and Batman. I mean, I just coincidentally had some good games that are still fun, but I've played some other games that are and also look, I got this too. I got my Nintendo, and look what I found. I found my Game Genie.
Whoa. And the book?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
the book.
That's pretty cool that you have your Game Genie. I have some cartridges I'll give you if you need some.
Remind me.
Oh yeah, because look, I found all my games too. Look, I got all these games.
Where
in the
were
case.
they? Where'd you find all this?
I had them in my closet. I just kind of forgot they were there.
Wow, that really fits your brand too, man.
Look, I got more games here.
Oh my God. You got any I had a listener gift me River City Ransom, and then I went and looked that game up.
Yeah.
And it's worth like $400. And I felt really bad. You know, I'm like,
Look, I got the
you
gold
want this
Zelda
back?
too. See the gold Zelda in there?
yeah, man, you should probably go through those and make sure, first of all, make sure they all work, and then look and see if you have anything that maybe might be a little rare.
You know what? I do have one that I know is rare. I just found out via TikTok the other day. My Super Mario Brothers 3. See how the Bros is under above Mario's hand?
Yes.
Well, they only made a limited amount of that because Nintendo didn't like the Bros on that side, so they moved it under the O of Mario after a small amount of time. So this one's definitely got some value to it.
Oh, that's cool.
How much value,
Well,
Pat?
you-
Give me a number here.
I also noticed the word something's written on the cartridge.
Yeah, it was somebody else's last name. I must have got that used or handed down. I don't remember, or maybe I just took it from a friend or something and never gave it back.
I'll give you $8 for it.
And look, I got one more thing. Look, I got this cool Game Boy like holster case thing. Like you put it around your shoulder, I guess, and wear it. And I've got
for gaming on the go.
I've got a clear one, which is a little newer, but I got a clear one too.
Oh man.
I wonder if I showed my sons, because they have like the new Nintendo Switch and stuff, and then they played a handheld.
What color controllers are they using?
They got 4.
They got the gray ones, or the pink and green and blue.
There's a blue, red, and then there's like a aqua and yellow
that's what we have.
something. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's exactly what we have.
Anyway, I wonder if I gave them the old school Game Boy. For some reason, I feel like they would play it if they didn't have any other option. But they'd be mad about it at how bad it was.
They wouldn't enjoy it, and you can't barely see the screen. The screen looks so rudimentary, because it's old, antiquated technology. But
I remember that. Do you guys remember? Of course, I had a Game Boy, and then I'd play it on road trips.
Humble brag.
And then when I remember, I would complain about not being able to see it, and then my mom bought me. There was an accessory which was basically a giant magnifying glass that slid over the Game Boy, and it was a magnifying glass that was like 3 times bigger.
So you've
than the screen.
always had a problem with your eyes.
Oh
No,
my God.
that was the technology to be able to have a big screen Game Boy.
Do you know what color my skin is? Or what color my hair is? How many fingers do I have up right now?
When sun is shining into a car and it's bright outside, it's
Move
hard
the
as hell.
Game Boy so it's not got the glare on it.
It didn't work. It didn't work. You wouldn't be able to see. He's right. It would always be. You have to use light.
My dad never let me have any. I got
big magnifying glass.
I got nothing. I had my Game Boy, and I was lucky if I got games.
I got this thing. It's like a light. This was like the same sort of thing you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that goes over there so you could play at night. That was another thing. I had that too.
This is terrible.
Oh, that's like the magnifying glass.
Oh man, you got it.
You couldn't even play the system without buying all these accessories to actually see the game.
Well, it was like one of the first times that I remember seeing, like, it was like as a kid, it was one of the first times that I remember seeing second party or third party like
add-ons.
Add-on, like things that I like. I remember like. It was a hard lesson for me to learn, but I remember buying something that I thought was like Nintendo brand for my Game Boy or for like whatever, but it was like a little janky because it was made by another company. And that was like, I remember that being a hard lesson for me to learn. And that was like kind of like in my brain, a timestamp of, remember when you buy third-party things, they may not be as good as if they came from the actual consumer.
So
this Game Genie is actually third-party. I just learned that a couple years ago too. This is actually third-party. Nintendo hated this.
Oh yeah, they did.
I guess, essentially through the machine.
And you would plug it. They realized, programmers, if you plug that in to the top of the game or the bottom of the game.
It was the bottom of the game.
Yeah.
And then you played through it, it would essentially hack the software so you could cheat the game. Is that it?
Well, you could plug in different codes and get different, like in, let's say Mario 3, for example, you could plug in, it has like 100 codes just for that game alone, where it would allow you to have like the raccoon tail the entire game, or you could fly the entire game, or you wouldn't be able to die, or you'd have unlimited men. There was like, so you could basically I like to put the code in as an adult when I would play it, of I would never die. So that means you could just zoom through the game and beat it, having that feeling of nostalgia without actually having to try.
So you could drink some White Claws, hang out. I understand. A lot of my friends would do it for parties. So if you set up your system for people to play, you just go in, do unlimited lives, you can't die. That way people can sit and play.
Just get out, whatever you want.
Yeah. Dude,
look, I got this too. This is my girlfriend gave me this for Christmas. I wear it at work all the time.
Oh, that's
Game Boy Watch.
Oh my God.
We're a part of one of the last generations that could ever say, like, there was video games that we played which it was impossible to find out what happened at the end unless someone you knew or yourself beat the game.
Yeah.
There was no other way to ever find out. Like, then I remember like game magazines and stuff, but other than that, and that was few and far between. You had to go up to 7-Eleven, but it was just, there was like, what happens at the end when you beat Beavis and Butthead? No one knew.
There was
impossible to know unless someone told you.
Tell me if you did this. My buddy Dave, that we all know, that lives in L.A., he would he had way more video games than I ever did. But I believe it might have been Ninja Gaiden. I think that was the game. We were playing, but he beat it. So the next day he comes to school and he's like, I beat it. But he's like, I have my save code, and it may not be that game, but he had his save code like right before he beat it. So I remember how excited I was for that weekend having a sleepover where I could come over, load the code, and then try to beat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I could pick up from where he. Yeah,
but that was it.
That was the only way you could do it, and even then you had to beat it again to watch the end credits or watch maybe a cutscene or something that was there.
My sons would rather watch someone better than them at that video game play it, and then you know what I'm saying.
Well, Tracy was
weird.
saying that in our Twitch chat room about her son. He watches Minecraft on his iPad while he's playing Minecraft on his Switch. And she's like, is that bad? And I was like, I don't know what's bad anymore.
Why are you asking us?
Yeah, don't ask us.
Of course it's bad. If we say it's, what are you going to listen to us? Crazy. Tracy, you know better. All right,
Did you
Pat.
guys ever do this? My buddy had I think it was like a Sega Genesis, and I remember the game was Mortal Kombat 3 or NBA Jams. Now, to get the codes, when you start the game up, you would just press a random sequence of buttons and try to remember what you pressed and see if you actually unlocked it. I remember sitting there for hours just hitting reset just to press random codes, just hoping you figured out one of their little codes for like free, like the NBA Jams, the big head, or you could turn his head to Bill Clinton or something like that.
Yeah. There was like,
and then someone would figure it out. It's like if you hold down, left, down, and then you get this, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like on fire at all times. And you would write them down in a notebook.
A lot of that's gone though because kids.
It's instant. Like look at all
the internet.
Yeah, everything's done.
Look at
for
the
you.
end. Yeah,
you don't have to mash.
Contra code. Everybody remembers the Contra code. Daniel might, because Daniel's old enough.
Well,
you're old enough too.
I don't remember it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I was never, I was a Sega guy.
And I saw it in Hot Topic because I'm not old like you guys. That's how I know it.
Yeah, this guy with his Hot Topic. He's a cool dude.
That made me old.
Dude, Spencer's Gifts. It's not Hot Topic. Spencer's is
and that is a backfire there, son.
Pat, I'm sorry, we ran out of time BSing too much.
Too much Subway
Sorry
talk.
about that.
It was all
now
Subway
we got
that
no
ruined
time,
your
man.
appearance.
So
That's all right.
People can still see you at the Copper Rocket, right?
No,
Oh my God.
Oh, what is it?
Brass tap.
Oh, God damn it!
You got the medal wrong. Everybody can still see you at the Iron Giant, right?
That was funny. That's a good joke. I'm going to use that one,
I
actually.
knew it was some metal.
I don't know. It's an adjective and then a thing. A hammered lamb, smiling bison. I don't know.
You've been
something
doing
and then
this for
something.
months with Pat.
You are at the same. You are three things to me. You're the funniest, smartest,
He was
and
so
dumbest
confident.
person I know.
So confident.
I was like, I'm gonna get this right, and in this, oh God,
Really give him a good
Oh,
plug.
you ended it all right.
It's,
Pat, we'll see you in a month, okay?
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much again. I love you guys.
Love
See
you
soon.
too, brother. Be
See ya.
good, man. Give your girlfriend some hellos from us. We'll talk to you soon.
I will. Thank you. See you later.
See you, man. That is Cadillac Pat,
From the
Orlando's
Brass Tap
all right.
and Waterford Lakes.
Cadillac Tap.
All right. Oh God, Carabas!
Welcome to another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha and Butler are here. We hope you guys had wonderful weekends and a happy Monday, everybody. Be sure to check out tomanddan.com. Tons of stuff on there. And if you're not a BDM member, you can sign up, join one of, at this point, hundreds of BDM-specific Facebook groups. I mean, whether it's people that are into plants, whether it's people that are into art, you could be a car guy, you could be a
Outdoorsman,
fitness person, a
boat.
chef. You could be into like a home cook. Really, the sky's the limit.
Gambling,
Music,
anxiety,
gambling,
parent group,
all kinds of great stuff.
Those are separate, by the way, not gambling anxiety.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gambling and.
Oddly
another
enough, I
group for
do
anxiety.
have increased gambling anxiety because
Right?
of my friend who's really into gambling. But yeah, you can sign up at tomanddan.com. It helps the show. You get extra shows. You get, hopefully in the future, we'll be back to doing events. Not quite right now, but but we are going to try to plan some stuff, hopefully in the latter parts of 2021.
From what I've seen, people just like to be a part of a like-minded community, and then when you, especially with the subgroups, you could really get into that specific.
And they're great people. They do a lot of charity work. So tomanddan.com, sign up to be a BDM. You want to jump into some email messages and voicemail messages?
Yeah.
All right, Sam, let's start with voicemails, the most neglected.
Well, voicemails are what you got over there. I got emails.
I'm in emails. No, voicemails are fine.
First email is, how is Maggie? I would love to hear more about her.
Oh, Maggie the dog, my mom's dog. Maggie the dog is full-on pampered and has been adopted by Maisie. It is her dog now. Caesar, who used to be her favorite, like, puppy item creature in the world, is now a boy. He's gross. He doesn't matter any longer.
Oh.
It's all about
Tables
Maggie.
have turned.
Yeah, well, little girls, traditionally, I think little boys do it too. You go through that phase where, like, little boys want to do things that are little boy-centric. And little girls want to do things that are little girl-centric. They don't want to be around little boys. They think they're gross. Little boys think little girls are gross. So we're there now. But Maggie the dog is, trust me, this dog wants for nothing. She sleeps on a gigantic mega beanbag chair.
Nice.
She's brought treats and water, hand-fed by Maisie every afternoon. This dog's fine.
That's what he says, but I've seen the cigarette burns.
Well,
it's riddled.
I can't stop Andrea from smoking. I've tried. I've told her many of times to go see our friend Mark with Healing Laser Clinics, and she will not do it.
Have you? Okay, I wonder. Obviously, this person's an animal lover, a dog lover. But you guys are, and I know people are like, you're a crazy person. You don't like dogs or whatever. Like, and I like dogs. I'm just arguing about like what's the benefit. Anyway, have you ever been actually concerned? If the dog's not sick or someone hasn't been telling you like, oh, my dog got cancer, and then you're asking like, oh, how's your dog? But just concerned about someone else's animal without the pre-knowledge that it's been sick or whatever. Just asked about someone's animal, like, how's that animal doing?
I've asked Butler about his dog Osita. Yeah.
Is that a normal thing?
Yeah, I have.
I'm gonna have to write that down.
Well,
this is a thing called empathy, Tom.
No, I haven't.
I hear about other people.
But he's got a very exotic-looking dog. I think I've asked about Dude before he got sick and passed, right? I think I did, yeah. And you've asked about Maggie and Caesar, so I think, man,
you're like weird. That's weird, like to ask without.
Well, I think for other people, we think that their family pets are part of their family, so we ask about them.
Yeah. Okay. So it's more.
How many times had Dan asked about Lena before she got sick?
Oh, yeah. Well, Dan, he asked.
I'm a small talk guy.
Yeah. He's like, how's it going? How's the kids?
I do that every morning. I even do it this morning. But, some mornings I go, you know what? I'm not doing it this morning because he doesn't appreciate it. So I'm taking it away. And then I'll sit here.
He doesn't care.
But then I'll sit here and then he loves it. Yeah, exactly.
Badgering
and then I get mad. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. How was your weekend, Tom? No, I don't do it like that.
I just, I don't know. For me, I would never be curious about how your cat was or your dog was doing. Again, if you were like, hey, my dog got cancer, and then I'd be like, I would be like,
right, no, I understand what you're saying.
How's your cancer dog?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think this job is weird in that I feel like we have more intimate relationships with each other. It is certainly more face-to-face. We talk more than any other job I could ever think of. Like, I'm talking to Samantha right now. I don't think there's any other job that you can list where I'm going to talk to you two people or any two people I work with this much, right? So I feel like we have a more intimate relationship, which means her asking about Caesar and Maggie or me asking about her dog or asking about Butler's dog is a little more commonplace.
Also, if I've met your pet.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
But I agree with you as well. If I just worked at the post office and I was just a mail sorting man in the mailroom,
wouldn't.
And I know Jerry, and Jerry's a good guy, and I know his wife, Bernadette. She's lovely, and their daughters are lovely too. But I don't know anything about their dogs. We don't get that deep.
Right.
I know what he does. I know he loves his catamaran and going out on it every weekend, but I don't know he's got a puppy.
But I've never, like, friends and family, the people I'm closest to, I would never ask about their,
But that's just you, because you're like maybe one or two notches lower than normal people are with things like that. That it's just not on your screen. It's not on your computer screen, man.
Well, I'm just trying to realize if it's, I do this thing all the time where something happens and then I see that and I'm like, well,
I don't. What normal humans do?
I don't understand that. Is that what normal humans do? Then I'm asking,
well, that sounds like
am
torture.
I crazy or are they crazy?
Dude, this sounds terrible. So when you see something
that I don't do or
that
understand.
you don't do, then you internalize it and then you start flogging yourself in your own mind.
No,
that's nuts.
I'm trying to figure out, am I weird or is that weird?
You're fine.
Whatever works for you, man.
Why can't either?
Yeah, but I just want to do what the majority does.
No, the majority cares.
I think the majority care.
Does-
But I don't think either is weird, because if it's not something it's like, I'm not going to be mad at you for not asking about Maggie and Caesar.
No, I know. Yeah.
You don't interact with them.
I don't think anybody would be. I just because I could force it into.
But I have noticed
my behavior. If
I have
I'm like,
noticed when you
ask them
force
about their
things.
pets.
I honestly,
ask them.
here's the thing, right? Like he just said, it wouldn't bother him if you didn't ask. Wouldn't bother me either if you didn't ask about my pet. So if it doesn't bother us, why do you care to even mention it?
Then
Well, if it's something,
it's a non.
if it's
Because
something
he thinks
normal,
he's not
non-crazy people do, then I
there's
need
a lot
to
of
do
other.
it.
There's a lot of other things you need to work on besides caring about.
Well,
people's pets.
I'm just one at a time.
Well, the first step would be
That should be on the bottom of it.
I would love it if you
It
wore
seemed easy.
pants to the studio once.
Yeah, honestly.
Let's start there. Let's start
or
generals.
shoes, so we don't have to smell your stinky
Oh my
sandals.
God.
It just got hot enough to go back to sandals.
I
I,
know.
wore
No.
shoes 2 days in a row.
We're this close. I'm excited about bringing my sandals back too.
Yeah.
What's weird about this, though, is that it sounds torturous for you to flog yourself about in your own mind about something that truly does not matter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's a nothing. It's a non.
I'm not really flogging myself. I'm just like, I'm taking it into account. I'm like, that's something that everybody has deemed that you should do if you're a good person.
Well, we never said you should do.
Or just like something normal people do, like like ask about someone else's pets, or just in passing conversation, friends, family do it to each other. Like.
Do you ask your friends about their kids?
No, but they don't. The wives.
I ask you
the
about
wives
your kids.
all
I
ask
ask about your boys all the time, but I think it's in my small talk gene. Because like when I walk out, I'll be like, "Hey, how are the boys doing?" I honestly want to know because I care about them. But
Yeah.
it is like, it doesn't need to be said. I guess.
Right.
I mean, would
Because
you?
if something was wrong, he'd tell you anyway.
Would
so.
you rather me not say that?
No, I don't care. I understand.
So it's like the dog thing to you. Okay.
Yeah, no, but I'm just trying to figure it out. If
Yeah.
if the person, if I'm the weirdo that never asks about anybody's kids or dogs, and then I'm just like, hey, well, Tom's a real D-head weirdo.
No, you gotta
that
keep
doesn't
to
care
yourself,
about
though.
anybody but himself.
You like to project what other people think of you, and nobody
But
really
it's-
cares.
but it's wrong.
I don't even care
But
that they
what
think
he
that, but
thinks we
maybe they
think of
do.
him.
You say that you don't care, but you clearly do because you're trying to force behaviors on yourself that people don't even care about. It's a non-issue.
But
No,
he
I don't wanna be a
thinks-
weirdo.
No, but you're not.
so then you do care what people think about you.
You're not a weirdo. You think you think that you not doing these things is weird. But it's not amplified that big, man. Like, to me, when you don't do these things, you're just soft-spoken. You keep to yourself. You're a quiet guy. When you're not on the show, you're a pretty quiet guy. You could sit in front of your computer, do your work, emails, check, our bank accounts, orchestrate, write your, proposals for different clients, talk to them on the phone, and never say one word to me.
Yeah.
I don't think of that as being weird. I actually kind of like it because it means we're both getting S done.
Yeah.
You know what drives me crazy? Butler.
Oh, no, my God.
Because
Go on.
I'm sitting there, and Samantha knows this, and she's seen it happen.
You think he drives you crazy?
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like typing or doing something. I have to concentrate. I'm like trying to spell something, and then Butler's like, "So I've just finished my spikes." It's like, I didn't ask about your spikes. Didn't be like, "Hey, what's up with those spikes?" Didn't even, never brought up.
Well, in
like,
chopper mentality,
so-
you can't sit in silence. It's much like
Yeah,
Jeff
why?
Howell. You
Jeff
can't sit in silence.
You stole
Why
it
can't
right
you
out of
sit
my
there?
mouth. I was about to say Jeff Howell.
Even though we're doing other work.
I love Jeff.
Yeah.
He's the sweet, and Butler too. They're both. Oh my God, they're very similar. They're
Exactly.
both lovely, sweet. You cannot find friendlier human beings than Jeff Howell and Travis Butler, but they cannot have silence.
No.
What's that? Why can't they? Why can't they? Now I understand.
We'd have to
Let's
talk
ask
to
Butler.
We'd have to talk to Jeff about it too, because we've talked to Jeff about it, and he's completely open. He's all,
Yeah, he's like, I know.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
I think it's kind of cute.
I'm like this in a way where
Is
if
that torture if we cut his tongue out so he couldn't talk?
oh,
Is it?
Well, it depends on how we do it.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work both ways though. Like, you're not sitting at your desk anticipating me or Butler saying something to break your concentration.
No. Well, it's not even about that. He's not trying to break my concentration.
No.
He needs to start telling
You a tale. He needs to tell a tale. He's a tale teller.
Which is weird because there's also the aspect he knows I don't care about the spikes. I tell him I do shows about it. How much content can I do? about me not caring about the spikes, and then he's sitting there, and then dead silent. I'm typing, and then he's like, "So I got 4 more spikes done today."
But what do you say?
It's like, what was the motivation to tell me
what
that?
do you say to him though? Because you could be hurting yourself if you just turned to him. If you turned to him and nicely said, "I'm sorry, I don't remember asking about your spikes."
No, of course I wouldn't say that. That's too awkward, dude. Are you kidding me? I'd never say that.
But I would be sitting here. And then
plays into it.
And then I'd get sucked in because I'd be like, what are they doing? And I'd be listening to it. I'd be so happy. I'd be like, they're about to fight.
I don't even play into it that much because
Is he listening to this now?
If you played into it, you'd be like,
so you're hurting his feelings right now.
No.
You're hurting his feelings.
No,
I didn't know he was
hurting
here.
his
I thought we were
feelings.
talking behind his back.
No,
and I was
no,
completely okay with it.
He's
But
listening.
now that he's listening,
It doesn't matter. No, it'll happen again tomorrow. It'll never not happen.
That's true.
It'll always happen.
Every day.
I'm saying it. And then too awkward, and then we get off of it. I have to sit down. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't bring up the spikes. and then we won't talk about it.
What do you not want him to talk
And then
to?
he'd be like, hey.
Because that's what he's...
And then Butler will be like, hey, I don't have to talk to you about the spikes if you care. But no, I don't care. It's just all the show. It's all
No,
the show.
Yeah, but it's true.
Everything I say in the show is not real.
Yeah,
Don't
I was
worry
just
about it.
joking around. The spike thing is totally fine. And then, oh God, he's talking about it.
And then now I'm even more mind F because then he's going to be like, wait a minute. Was the thing you said in the office the real one? Or
Well, I've been trying to figure that out.
Guess what, Tom? You're the bad one. That's mental abuse.
Yeah, this is what you do to your sons with the game that you play. You're like, I'm
Fake
gonna
domestic
gonna
abuse.
pretend to hit mommy, and then you guys fight me off.
You're an evil person.
You're kind of screwed up in the brain, dude.
No, I'm not.
Your whole life
You're
is just
presenting it wrong.
manipulation.
For those who didn't hear earlier,
from
I was going to do a jokey game where
Yeah, but it's
I
all
grabbed Crystal's
weird
shoulders.
fake manipulation and
Yes.
controlling other people through fake messages. You're sending.
They know it's all just a job. I'm like,
Butler has no idea what to think right now.
Yeah, you've confused. He may not even show up tomorrow. He's like, I think I got fired, but I don't know.
He'll show up.
He wants to talk about the
I
spikes.
gotta tell about the spikes, even fired or not. I'll scream it through the window. I'll scream my spikes. Spikes. I make spikes. I'm a spike maker. And I don't care who knows. Spikes for all.
I feel mean saying it, but
Do you mean it, or is this show fodder, or is this
there
real?
anybody interested in the spikes? Anybody? Like even like Juan. Let's call Juan.
No, there are.
then-
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you,
No,
but
but
he has a list of people that
No,
want to
no,
buy
they wanna
these,
buy it. No,
these
but-
Stormtrooper Spike helmet
Yes.
collectibles
No.
that he is hand making on his Etsy shop.
No, for sure. I know how big Star Wars is. My sons love it. It is a multi-billion-dollar. And yes, I know they're interested in the topic and the final
I'm
product.
writing a song right now.
I'm just saying.
I want to ride my spike-sicle. I like to ride my spike.
Is there anybody that really wants to hear Butler tell them how he made the spikes?
Well, I think he would like to think that the people he surrounds himself at work are his friends, and that would probably be okay to talk about in...
Not when people are working, though.
Well, but in Butler's defense, does it ever really look like Tom's working?
He's straining looking at the computer.
Yeah, he's just looking at him with sweat coming down. He does a 1-hour SunTrust business account stare down.
Yeah.
He stares at the debt.
Now, sometimes he'll talk about like Baltimore Ravens and stuff.
Oh, damn one, damn one.
Well, then I'll be like, yeah, I think Lamar just he's a running back who could throw. And then he gets me into that, but then the spikes again. I'm like, why doesn't he cue in that I like talking about the Ravens and not the goddamn spikes?
But he knows that your sons are hooked on spikes.
Yeah,
he knows your
but I'm
sons
not my
love
sons.
Star Wars Mandalorian. Yeah, but he knows that you're not going to turn it off completely because he might throw a nugget of knowledge about the Star Wars universe that you can use to be a better and cooler dad. So you won't fully turn him off.
Yeah. No.
And this whole conversation is so toxic to him sitting in the other room right now listening to it.
No, he's fine. Again, it's like this happened.
Oh, he's calling
He's
you from
calling
the other room. Hold on.
He quits.
Hello, this is Daniel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spikes? Yeah. Yeah, there's a wait list. Eight spikes. Okay, bye-bye.
No spike order?
Yep, another spike order.
spike order,
9
wow.
spike orders, though.
He did tell me that he ordered like 5 or 6 heads.
Yeah, he had him sitting on his doorstep yesterday, and he had to get more primer. I listen to the things he says.
But he got 6 heads, but then one of them was a mambo, and then he's like, I don't know why I got 5 regulars and a big mambo. And then I'm like,
he got a mambo?
Yeah, like he got 5 regulars.
Mambo number spike.
And then 1 big head. And I'm like, oh, God.
He's gonna make a jumbo spike?
So anyway, what do we got? Oh, voicemail?
We'll go voicemail now. This one ties in. It's about small talk.
So this is in reference to the small talk debate. I've been in customer service for 15 years plus, and talk to people all the time. But one time I did receive free LASIK surgery from a tip from a table I didn't even want to wait on to begin with, and that was the outcome. So it does pay off sometimes.
See, that is exactly what I was talking about. You're gonna hang out for Butler Small Talk because there might be a nugget of knowledge in there.
Or he
you
might
need.
give you some spikes.
Yeah, or he might give you something for free. This guy, he's open to the conversation, open to the small talk. He got free LASIK from a doctor. That was his tip.
Who gives free
That's
LASIK?
Bobo's,
as a tip?
I don't know. Hey, if you're poor, it's not, right?
I guess.
Well, no, but I mean for the doctor, for the
this
guy.
has happened before. My mom and dad, there's a painter, a Florida painter, very famous Florida painter named Barry Barnett. Very famous. He paints a lot of the natural Florida animals that we have in wildlife. My mom and dad met him at a seafood restaurant, started talking to him. He sent them an original painting in the mail, framed. It's worth buttloads of money just because they met each other at a seafood restaurant, hit it off, and exchanged cards.
But it's
cool,
cheap.
though.
It's cheap for the doctor to, instead of give a tip to the server, he's like, hey, I'll hook you up with some LASIK. Right?
Is it a little weird or a little
There's 2 sides.
slimy, maybe?
What's weird about it is it's an expensive
That's like when Tom goes, I'll give you a straw hat. When someone does, you know what I mean?
It's a laser straw.
Yeah, it's a laser straw.
But laser surgery is way better than a straw hat.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
sure.
those things we got from China.
But I
are
just
like
mean the act
$8.
of doing that's a little cringy, right?
I mean, it is a little bit, but I can't say that if I were down on my luck or if I'd been in high school
It's an
serving.
expensive
or
thing.
Right.
If I were like 27 years old, working as a server, still have an apartment, need money. I don't know, man.
Well,
Yeah.
LASIK is like what, $1,500 around there? Like now,
I mean, the value of it, sure, but
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying the act of instead of leaving a
it's
tip.
a little corny.
I don't
And
think
what if he didn't need LASIK eye surgery?
Well, he must
Was
have
he
had
leave a coupon?
Well, he must have had glasses or something with the guys.
Okay.
Like, oh, you got glasses.
But-
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Even if you have glasses, though,
What
I
he's
think,
not a contender.
I'm going to start giving away boob jobs as tips.
All right.
yeah, I feel
They
like,
give you some all-day suckers.
and with the LASIK, most expensive, lowest overhead surgery of all time. Let's think about this because like,
Oh, no. Laser hair removal would have taken that crown for a hot second.
God, but I don't
think.
really consider that they both involve a laser.
Well, but the laser hair removal one makes me laugh because I think it's literally it's not a surgery.
No, it's not.
You're really paying for
Well,
nothing.
okay, now I understand the cost of the GD giant laser machine or whatever that
Yeah,
zaps your
very
hair
expensive.
or zaps your eyeball. Although here's the thing with the laser hair removal, it takes time. I think a LASIK can be done pretty fast. Like, what do you think?
But they did I know with my mom they did one eye and then they had to come back and do another eye.
That might be because of the severity of it.
And then they left one. It's very, very. I don't understand.
yeah.
Maybe we can get somebody from Filatowski on the horn or something.
we can't because I'll have to ask him about.
Notice how I said that correctly.
Yes,
I'll
you
have
did.
to ask him.
I'm a
about
pro.
Why didn't you say anything?
Please. I feel like a fool.
15 years, I don't know how long.
Probably
It's
longer.
the greatest story that will never be told, and I have to know.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful.
It's-
It's glorious.
I'll that will be the last thing I think about before I die.
Oh, man.
It will be too because I
it'll
heard
drive
it.
me so crazy.
I
about
heard
why-
it driving down the road and I go, what?
How could it have happened? How?
But that should give you, that should make you feel better about when you ask those questions. How could this have happened? Or what is this? that should make you feel better about stuff like that, because that should be proof to you that these things can happen
all the time.
all the time.
I know it is, but the
should make you feel better.
The problem is the explanation is never what I want it to be, and I don't even know what I want it to be. I don't even know.
I was telling a buddy of mine.
It never makes sense.
I was telling a buddy of mine, and you and I learned this lesson, I believe, sort of the hard way in, when we were starting this company and forming this and kind of breaking our way out of, working for terrestrial radio. The story, the big problem, the big to-do, the issues were never as exciting or never as complicated as I ever wanted them to be. I would invent these grandiose conspiracy theories of how people were attacking me this way, or they're out to get me this thing.
That's what makes me not believe in conspiracy theories for the most part.
It's usually the very easy and very boring story. How did that happen? The easiest way and the most boring way. That's how it happened.
It's the magic trick. It's how did
right in front of your nose.
David Copperfield do that? It's the most easy explanation,
always,
which is always the most disappointing.
I want my daughter to know that. You know how you always say, and I admire this, you're always like, I want my sons to, if they're doing something, always look internally first.
If something goes wrong,
look at yourself, go there first before you start pointing at everybody else. Look at yourself first, assess the blame, and take it like a man, right? I think that's an extremely important thing to do. I want to teach my daughter this too. Don't spin out of control. Don't think it's a conspiracy. Try to use logic and go easy. And what makes sense? What's the easiest way to connect the dots? The least amount of energy used.
Yeah.
Because normally it's that way. You and I have seen some pretty crazy things go down, even just within our company, and it's always been the most simple explanation.
The only problem is that every once in a while, anomaly.
Right. Well, that's what fuels conspiracy theories. I've been reading a big book about
you're like,
this.
whoa, that happened. Whoa.
Because sometimes they hit.
It's like, how could it be done like that?
The double zeros.
It's the insane, complicated
green,
conspiracy.
no red, no black.
And then it happens, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And then, and then everybody takes those and then makes them everything. But you're like, "No, that's the anomaly.
Right?
That's the one in a million."
You're giving the same amount of value to what was supposed to happen because it was weighted. You're giving the same amount of value to randomness. And you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, of course that's going to hit. It has to, because that's the way that the whole thing is designed.
It's just hard to I don't even understand it fully. I can't actually do the math or understand what a 1 in 100,000 even means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't even my brain doesn't, I'm not smart enough to actually know how rare that even is, So that's the problem. It's like, well, how rare is 1 in 100? It's really rare, you know what I'm saying? But it seems not that rare, but I don't really know, so that's the problem. Anyway, bye-bye.